Who knew I would make it this far? They hated, they never believed me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball. I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say. I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life. I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all net when it go up. Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same.
Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing. Keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get big right. Cause it can get big right. Cause it can get big right.
Hey, please don't play no games with me, I promise I'm too much. Hey, I can never let up even if you had enough. Hey, this ain't for the faint of heart, we always playing rough. I had enough, it ain't luck. I needed a vision, I needed ambition, I needed a mission to beat in submission with no intermission. I see the collision, the crash in the distance, ain't coming off track, no. Now when they ask what's the motive, don't talk about the show them. They all about to see what I mean in the moment. I gotta keep going, I'm shaking the dice and I'm keeping it rolling. They already know.
Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play the same. Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax. Stop assuming what we doing. Keep it moving, what we doing. Cause it can get big right. Cause it can get big right. Cause it can get big right.
Bring it in. It's that late night edition, Tuesday night edition. Salute to everybody who's in the building. Turn up. Hope my sound is coming in clear. Turn up. It's fight week, man. 4 days out. 4 days out until this, in my personal opinion, mega event. We got the grand arrivals kicking off inside of the next 30 minutes or so, give or take, whatever have you. The fighters are already about ready to go as they're going to be. Rumors are already starting to spin about certain injuries in the space. People talking about potentially Terrence Crawford might be battling some shoulder injuries. Hey, guys, you know how it goes. These fights, these boxing matches, 90% of the time, these fighters are going into these fights with injuries, right? Now, we already know that they're going to, the detractors are going to do what they do, but it doesn't matter. The fight is on. Whoever Terrence Crawford is, it's going to have to be enough to beat Canelo Alvarez, and vice versa. Whatever Canelo Alvarez may be dealing with that is being kept under the sheets a little bit better than what's coming out of Terrence Crawford's camp. If it's even true or not, it doesn't matter. Whoever you are on the night of the fight, that's what we're going to be dealing with, right? So we're not even going to concern ourselves with that. We have an undercard that's going to be kicking off as well that I think is going to be a great undercard. We got Christian and Billy. We got my guy Lester Martinez. We've got Fernando Vargas Jr. and Kalen Walsh. We've got a card popping up on Thursday as well. We even have some fights that are going to be on tomorrow during the media workout. So we got a lot to look forward to, press conferences, things of that nature. This right here tonight is just going to be the the beginning with the grand arrival. So we'll be all tapped in, man. And now as the fight is getting closer, we're also getting a lot of pundits in the space, your Teddy Atlases, your Roy Jones Jr.'s, your Nonito Donaires, your Antonio Tarvers. Obviously, Tim Bradley is never made it a secret to speak on where he stands on this. But you got a lot of pundits in the space speaking on this fight and sharing their opinions of how they think this fight is going to go. And we'll talk about that a little bit tonight as well, because it's interesting how the veterans in the game, the guys who've been in the game for a long time, we've seen a lot, who have translated through eras, right? Who have transitioned through eras of boxing, are watching this fight, and they seeing this fight as a super competitive fight, very intrigued with the intangibles. And we'll talk about some of those opinions, right? We'll talk about some of those opinions and maybe even talk about a little bit why the current space seems to be so caught up on the power, on the punching power, and on this whole entire weight thing. Why is that being emphasized on so much when there's so many other intangibles playing their part in this game? Like Roy Jones said real quick, I'll just, comment to what he said, that, you're talking about Terrence Crawford, then you're talking about 6 different ways to win a fight, right? 6 potential ways to win a fight. When you're talking about Canelo Alvarez, you're talking about 1 or 2 ways. Who you're going to bet on? The guy with the tools, the guys with the option, or you're going to just bet on put all your eggs in the basket of one thing working, right? And we'll talk about that. I got my guy, Angelo Reyes is going to be joining us tonight. I got of course, Ray Davis is going to be in the building tonight, speaking on all things boxing. And we'll be addressing all the elephants in the room, hopefully, right? And then we're going to tap into this grand arrivals that's going to be popping up. I can't play it on here, right? I don't want to get copyright, but we'll be watching the grand arrivals. Let's see what these fighters are looking like, how they feeling, what they're thinking, what they got to tell the space. A lot of people in Terrence Crawford's camp speaking towards the power Terrence Crawford has been able to put together, speaking on the strength, speaking on the fact that a lot of people may be surprised at the way Terrence Crawford's going to approach this fight, right? A lot of people think that Terrence should be on his bicycle. He should be moving around, boxing, sticking, moving, staying out of range, not getting hit, dipping away from that power that Canelo Alvarez brings, being the juggernaut of that 168 division, as far as what the people will say, right? But we'll talk about all that tonight, guys. As you walk in the building, we got about 26, 30. I don't know how many people are in the building right now. You already know. What Blue Blood say? Wipe your shoes before you come into my house. Hit that like button. All right, let's make sure we do that. And if this is your first time tapping into the content, take a moment to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit your bell icon so you are getting alerts when this content is dropping. But for now, up in the building is my boy. Hold on, you already know it's coming back full circle. We got Ray Davis in the building. We got Angelo Reyes in the building. Usual suspect. Hello, gentlemen. How are we doing today, man?
Good, man. Chilling. Man, I am so pumped. I'm so pumped, gentlemen. The town is buzzing right now. You got Canelo, Crawford everywhere. They were in the Bellagio yesterday. UFC is popping out with the Embedded series, which is what they do for UFC fighters and UFC pay-per-view events. So if you guys want to get some insight into that, that's free on YouTube. UFC Embedded episode 2 dropped earlier today. There's the Netflix that is out there for all you guys who have the Netflix. That's dope. All the billboards, all the signs. It's crazy, man. I don't know how many people, honestly, from out of the country is here, but there's a lot of people in Vegas right now. And free boxing tomorrow night at the actual theater, the Blue Theater at the Fontainebleau Casino Hotel. They're going to let all the people come in. 2 p.m. start time. 5 great matches. This is what I've said to you gentlemen before on this show. This is the grand opening, or let's call it the re-grand opening of free boxing to the entire United States and globally for everyone to see that America is showcasing boxing again. And that is amazing. It's so fun, man. So fun.
Yeah, man. Vegas has got to be on fire right now. Ray Davis, what's good with you, family? How are you, King?
Listen, man, chilling. I got to go to work later, but while I'm here, I'm going to enjoy every moment of this because I can't wait to hear what we got popping because there's going to be some brewing going on. Help me get some clarity on what's going on in this fight. Help me really solidify my picks on my verbal side and my intellect. But I'm going to definitely tell you, I made my betting picks, and
that's what I'm talking about, Ray.
I'm looking to make some money on this, so hopefully it doesn't persuade my decision.
Listen to the advice, baby. Listen to the advice.
I mean, yeah, you definitely got some a little perspective on this after you've done your research. Let me do a roll call real quick, run through the room right quick. Salute to everybody who's in the building right now. Eastside Easy in the building said we finally here. Salute Claymore and the entire TP. Salute chat. Salute, man. Of course, SOB TV in the building says salute Claymore and chat. Blessings to all. Big Tim 45 click bang salute. Says salute Clay, let's cook. Chat, hit the like button. Yeah, definitely don't forget to hit that like button. Shout out to the Queen, Kalia World in the building. Peace, Queen. Hope everything is good with you. Glad to see you in the building. My God, Blaze, pound for pound. Seattle's very own Blaze, pound for pound in the building, saying let's go. Let's get it, Blaze. Let's get it for sure, man. Let's see here. AK Crowder with the blessings with the ultimate super chat. Bonte in the building. Salute to you, man. Fly Frequency, my Aki in the building with shooting the salams at me. Walaikum salam, walaikum salam, man. Hope everything is good, man. I ain't talked to you in a minute, Frequent. I ain't talked to you in a minute, bro. Anyway, we'll catch up tomorrow, I guess. Big Sarge in the building. Salute to Big Sarge. I don't know if I already said salute to you. Diego in the building says grand arrival in 17 minutes. For sure, we definitely gonna catch it. Literary Pharaoh, my guy in the building, says hello, everyone. Hello back at you. And Malante Davis in the building as well. Salute Malante Davis, man. So it is what it is. We're getting closer, right? And you already see the rumors are starting to pop up around. Have you guys heard about Terrence Crawford and his shoulder injury that's going around? It was on Twitter.
I heard he was boxing a little weird or sparring a little weird in training.
I'm not buying into any of it. Not buying into any of it.
You ain't buying it.
Yeah, I mean, Showbiz covered it, of course, right? Showbiz covered it today, and I caught a little snippet of it. I'll be honest with you, we talked a little bit earlier, Angela, and I wasn't even aware about this until I was scanning, and I saw it. I'm like, what is this shit, right? So I see Tim Bradley's actually who shined the light on it. Tim was flipping out, right? Like, you guys always coming up with this is nonsense. Ain't no injury, this, that, and the other. And even if there is an injury, it don't matter. They fighting Saturday, right? So Tim is going off, right? He's like, you bozos out there spreading all these rumors, blah, 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 blah. So then I'm scanning through the internet, and I'm like, all right, let me see who's covering this, right? I'm going through the internet, like Google. I'm going through YouTube, and I'm trying to find some news on this potential shoulder injury. And I run up on Showbiz's channel, and he's talking about it, and he's referring to a surgery that Terrence Crawford had maybe some months back before May, right? Like before May, he had some surgery on his shoulder, and saying that rumor is that this injury may be flaring up a little bit during the camp, right? And that, this could affect the fight, knowing how Canelo Alvarez is and what he likes to focus on. The hitting the shoulders, right? Hitting the arms. He hits everything, right? So we'll see how real that is. It doesn't really matter, I would say, at this point, right? Let's be honest. The fight is going down on Saturday. I don't want to do the excuses. I just don't want to play with the excuses right now in the ninth inning of the game before the fight even starts to start off with the excuses. But, I send it back at you guys. I mean, where are you guys at with it? Yay or nay? Does it matter? I mean, how real do you think this rumor is?
Go for it, Angela.
Oh, okay. No, I was going to say it's all a ruse, baby. Don't believe any of it. It's all a lie. This is all just shop talk for the beginning to try to get, there's no need to hype any of this up. First of all, let's pretend for a second, Clay, that it is true, right? Mm-hmm. What fighter do you know ever goes into any boxing matches after training themselves to the death, bro, for 8 weeks, sometimes longer? Does anybody ever come in 100%? The answer will be no. That's number one. Number two, I don't believe any of it. I don't believe any of it. You signed a contract. The minute you step in the ring, which is what we need to see, because anything can happen until you step in the ring, and we the three of us know, sometimes it happens when you're already in the ring. There could be like a helicopter guy dropping in from the sky and stuff, and a fan van, and You know, you can have a groin hitting, and then the Mayweather Judah anything can happen. Anything can happen. But we'd like to see these two step into the ring. So I don't believe any of it, even if it's true. No excuses, man. This to the public, to the mainstream, and I've been talking about it with Raider Nation. Shout out to Raider Nation for us winning this week. Big win at New England. But I've been telling them, I'm like, this is the fight you guys have all wanted. All of you mainstream casuals who are not the purists who will stay at 4 a.m. to watch a Japanese card. That ain't you. What is you is free TV, free on YouTube, just like Chargers versus the Chiefs.
Put your fire sticks up. Put your fire sticks up.
Yeah, put your fire sticks away. Pirates Life is no longer available because you don't need it, man. Yeah, and let me say this: not only do you not need Netflix, you could literally go anywhere and they'll be showing it at the pizza parlor, because there's no fees. There's no fees to any of these restaurants. Restaurants right now are popping all kinds. They're like, hey, we're going to show the fight. Everybody is showing the fight for free. The USA is back with free boxing. It may take I'll give it another 3 years. I'll give it until the Olympics, but I promise you, Clay and Ray, USA boxing will be a top 5 sport again in America by 2028. Guaranteed.
Inshallah, bro. Inshallah, man.
Shout out to Turkey Al-Sheikh, Jake Paul for making that happen. Yes, I'm always going to give credit to Jake Paul, the casual champion. And I do say that with the utmost respect. But yes, that is going to happen. I can see that timeline being about right and the effectiveness of that, because I see the big major sports that we're having too commercialized, pushing the natural consumer away of the branding of sports. The patches on the uniforms, the can't tackle here, pitchers gotta have a pitch count before they can pitch the ball, can only throw a guy out twice on a pitch. Like, yeah. So I can see that being a definitely. Even hockey's the only one that went kind of back to the original, right? They changed it up and then they went to the checking rule where they can check certain heights and stuff. But yeah, man, I wouldn't be surprised if soccer, aka football, passes a lot of these sports, and boxing and football moves right back up the ladder, because it's crazy that this will be a big reckoning in the day of American boxing. Shout out to you for that, Angelo, for real.
Hey, Clay, before you go, can I just give the chat room and guys, please hit the like buttons, wipe them feet, as they say on some shows. But I want to say,
before you come into the house,
but I want to say on our show, please, guys, chat lives matter. So continue to talk and hit those like buttons, please. But before you go, Clay, I do want to give a quote to the great Sam Cooke. With boxing, it's been a long time coming, but I know a change gonna come. Yes, it will.
Yes, it will. No, for real, man. Listen, man. The event is dare I say, it's even bigger than Terrence and Canelo, right? Because all the things that you mentioned, just the ushering in of boxing without the pay-per-view model, making it available for the masses, taking away the excuses for watching it, and giving people the opportunity to see real boxing showcase on a huge stage. You know what I mean? A lot of fighters are going to get a lot of opportunities that they wouldn't have gotten on the pay-per-view model. Why? Because, for a fighter to make it to a card or to make it on a pay-per-view headline, it's always, the conversation is always, how many asses can they put in the seats? How many pay-per-views can they sell? And then you see a lot of great fighters, a lot of good talent not get access to the biggest stages. And, obviously that goes along with their paydays and things of that nature. So yeah, man, something to be excited about, something to be very excited and dialed in about. And this whole week, is an important week. Everything that's happening this week, from the grand arrivals that should be happening inside the next 9 minutes, to the media workouts tomorrow with the fights that are going to be on there, with the Thursday underdog card that's going to pop up. We got Jalil Hackett, who's going to be on there making his 154-pound debut. We've got a great undercard on the event on Saturday, and obviously the main event itself itself, man. And then the next morning, early in the morning in Japan, we're going to see Monster Inoue defend his titles against MJ. That's going to be amazing. You already know that undercard is going to be great because that's the kind of events. And last time we had this Ring Magazine weekend, Monster Inoue arguably saved the weekend, right? So
yes, sir.
What a way to close
yes,
it off, right? Right?
Yes, sir.
So
Cinco de Mayo weekend.
Right.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo weekend, yes, sir, was saved in Las Vegas, T-Mobile Arena with Monster Inoue versus Cardenas, I believe it was. Right? And that was a banger, man. That was a banger. But again, the difference is Inoue versus Cardenas was shown on ESPN for free. But the magnitude of the reach and the advertising, Clay, for this Netflix event, brother, I'm seeing it on WWE YouTube. I'm seeing it on UFC. They're talking about it all the time. I mean, these are different markets, and Netflix is pumping it out like crazy. They've already done 3 90-second promos for the countdown. 5 days left. 8 days left. Then they did Max Kellerman today. How happy are we that Max Kellerman is back, right? If you're a real boxing fan.
Jim Lamby.
If you guys haven't experienced Max Kellerman in his boxing space, commentating and giving his takes and his analysis of these fighters, and he, listen, man, a treat. Looking forward to all of that. Andre Ward is going to be commentating and calling this fight as well. Antonio Tarver is going to be out there calling the fight as well. They really went all out, man. You know what I mean? They went all out, and they spared no expense. They brought boxing back from an era that some people aren't familiar with, and a lot of us who can really remember back then, this is going to be very nostalgic for us, right? We're really going to get to just remember a period of time in boxing, and once again, an era-defining fight in front of us with Terrence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. The fight that nobody know they wanted, right? Nobody asked for it, but I really believe this fight has a real solid chance of delivering. Let me go ahead and shout out to the Pork Chop with the $2 howl in the building. Says rumors started by Salty Spence fans. It's cap. I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked at all, brother. Shout out to Diego with the $5 holler. Says shout out Clay, Ray, and Reyes boxing for the dub.
And think about this too, the Inoue fight, because if you're like just a boxing junkie, man, the fact that we're going to get the event of the century, and that is what it is the event of the century, right? Fight week starting out with 5 free fights. Come on, Ray. They didn't even do that in Santa Monica. It wasn't 5 fights. It sure as hell wasn't in no theater. It was outside, remember? It was Santa Monica Pier, and it was on the outside. Man, if you're in Las Vegas right now, you could literally walk into Fontainebleau, which is one of the newest, most beautiful hotels we have here on the Strip in Las Vegas, walk into the theater where people normally pay money for free. And you're going to get to watch a high-class boxing event. They are the Bellagio. Did y'all see that? The Bellagio where they brought in Canelo and Crawford, man. They're passing out Riyadh season shirts.
And that being said, just segueing into it a little bit more, right? Like as we dive into it and we begin to dive into it just a little bit, that face-off right there being the first time that we've actually seen some certified real pictures of these guys, right? Because we don't know where the picture of Terrence Crawford came from, whether it was the beginning of the camp, whether it was from another camp, whether it was Photoshop, whether it was the end of the camp. Canelo Alvarez as well. You know, videos circulated with him working out, and we've seen him with Jaron Ennis, and we've seen all these we don't know when they were. So seeing them for sure at the Bellagio with Dana White and Turkey Al-Sheikh out there in front of the fountains, and you saw them standing in front of each other. Obviously, the narrative is what it is. The elephant in the room is that these guys, Terrence Crawford is coming up in weight. He's a smaller guy. He's jumping up multiple weight classes. He needs to be aware of the naturally bigger guy in Canelo Alvarez. Where are you guys at with what you saw? Like, I mean, is there really that this size difference that everybody's talking about? I mean, I think there is one at the end of the day, but I mean, how much are we going to continue to hang our hat on that? What did you guys see at that face-off? Is Terrence Crawford this skinny little, you know what I mean, guy coming up and trying his luck, or is this fight a lot closer than what people think it is when it comes to that conversation?
No, he is. Obviously, he is. I mean, we know Jermell Charlo is a definitely bigger fighter than Terrence Crawford, and we see now he managed in size against Canelo Alvarez. So the size is definitely going to be a disparity. The problem is Bud moving up in weight, he will be up to the task of making the size look more natural, and Canelo will have to come down. I was in the first thoughts, and that still may happen, that Canelo may come in a little heavier than usual to kind of like put some punch resistance on, throw some more power in the shots, be able to walk him down and hurt Bud, right? But then I also thought about it like, you know what? He's been training for Floyd. I think I repeated this already. Said this already. This might be a repeat. He wasn't ready for Floyd. He might want to get back in that game, and that's why he bought boots in. Get back out there, get a little slimmer, come in lighter, be quicker, be faster, be reactive to Terrence Crawford, who is an unpredictable fighter. And being that Canelo may do that, he may look like the smaller fighter in that exchange of mass or whatever when they're standing next to each other in the face downs. But what we're going to find out is who's really the bigger puncher, because I think that's what it comes down to. Who's going to be able to have the more effective shots? Because we could talk size all day. That means nothing. How do we know that? Mike Tyson beat how many 6'5" fighters? Tons. We had Sugar Ray Leonard move up from welterweight all the way to light heavyweight and win the title. We had Shea Mosley go from 130 all the way up to 154 and win some fights. We have what's our homeboy name that just recently did it? Roy Jones going up and becoming a heavy after a super middleweight. Junior super middleweight, going all the way up and winning. So size does matter, but it does take points away when it comes to strength. And I've been saying this the whole time, Clay. It's all about the strength, not about the size.
Man, I like the take, man. And just to add one piece and actually let you know, I'm gonna actually send it right to you, Angelo. Just gonna say that, I think the question for me is gonna be, is Terrence Crawford really going up in weight as much as he's cutting less weight? And I think there is a significant difference there. I think people are really looking at this guy like this guy's putting on all this weight and they're thinking it's going to hold him down and make him sluggish. No, this man is an athlete who walks around probably anywhere from 185 and north of that on any given Sunday, and he's active. He's not a guy who's not playing basketball in his off time. He's wrestling with his kids in his off time. He's active. He's a very active fighter, and I think he's going to be just as athletic, just as agile, fast for Canelo Alvarez. And also in this fight, we're going to watch Terrence Crawford, who's going up in age right now. We know he's 37 years old going to this fight. 2 weeks later, he'll be 38 years old. But timing sometimes looks like speed. So he's an intelligent, cerebral fighter. You're going to see the timing be a big part of this fight where it replaces speed. It adds and it looks fast. He's becoming more intelligent. These are two fighters who are very experienced at this point, and he understands the dynamic of what's going on in that ring. So look out for the timing. Look out for the punches to be also on the timing part. And timing sometimes can look like power when you're hitting people with shots that they don't expect, they don't see coming. When you're hitting them with them shots they don't see coming, it can look like power. You combine all these different intangibles to it. Terrence Crawford is not going into this fight confident for no reason. Bomac is not going into this fight confident for no reason. I think people are really caught up in there thinking they're going in there for the paycheck. No, these guys really have a strategy lined up to where they're super confident they're going to walk away with the victory. And without a doubt, I don't see you doing that without having these different boxes checked. I just want to see how it's going to look in the fight and how these guys look when they get in the ring with each other.
Thanks.
Hey, before I go, I just want to let everybody know, if you are watching it along with us, the grand arrivals have started. That studio looks amazing. If you don't know where to find it, it is on YouTube. If you want to turn your TV onto YouTube, and it's on the UFC YouTube right now. It's on. It looks
Magazine too.
Ring Magazine.
Yeah,
too.
It's on Ring Magazine. All right. It might be on WWE.
It might be on Riyadh, guys.
It might be on Riyadh. It's everywhere, y'all. It's everywhere. So,
look, and look at the way they're presenting it. You see, they got the top ranked guys up in there. Speaking right now. Listen, guys.
Right.
This event is going. Oh my God, bro! I'm just.
I mean, and again, let me speak to, because what I love about our format here is we can sometimes we all agree right on there, and then sometimes I got to throw a monkey wrench into it all and disagree and try to convince you both First of all, Ray, I love you, man. But there's a reason why last night I was like, bet and bet hard. Because I got this feeling, man. I got a feeling that September 13th is going to be a good night for us. The size thing for everyone in the chat who keeps saying Canelo big bone, blah, blah, blah. That narrative went away. That is gone. Size isn't even a factor. So let me explain to you why I don't believe size is a factor. This now just comes down to mano y mano, brother. Skill versus skill. Let's see what happens. Do you remember a guy by the name of Oscar De La Hoya, Ray?
Yep.
Right?
Sounds
Oscar De
familiar.
La
I'm
Hoya,
talking
brother,
about
started
memory.
his world title run at 130 pounds. And yet, sir, and yet, when he was at his older stage, when everybody said maybe De La Hoya doesn't have it anymore, that man moved all the way up to 154 pounds to a natural 154-pound fighter who was undefeated by the name of Fernando Vargas. And Fernando Vargas was the favorite. Everybody thought he was younger. Everybody thought he was stronger. Everyone, he was on that, I dare say it, but he was on that Victor Conte magic that they were giving Barry Bonds. It was proven. It was illegal at the time. Victor Conte got in trouble for it already. But damn, bro. Yeah, but what happened? De La Hoya knocked his ass out. And how De La Hoya knock him out? By getting hit with a punch he never even saw coming, brother.
Exactly.
He never even saw it coming. And at that time, everybody was kind of arguing, I don't know, De La Hoya coming up. He ain't ever fought anyone this big. You know, blah, blah, blah. De La Hoya did the Floyd Mayweather Sr. special, right? He even got caught in the ropes, remember? And then everybody was like, oh, man, Fernando Vargas is going to knock him out. And he got his ass knocked out by the more skilled fighter. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about that, just like Clay already mentioned, man. Terrence Crawford, he started his campaign at 135. But maybe this entire time, just like De La Hoya, he was just a big boned 135. And he had to eat oranges, you know, to get down that low. Yeah. But by the time he got to 140 and then his 147 run, where he was knocking everyone out. It was like 6 in a row that he was knocking everyone out. And let me say this too. I've been on record on this show saying to everyone that when you rewatch the Madrimov fight, and everybody knows I love me some Terrence Crawford, but if I'm being objective, I thought Madrimov won. Closest thing I could give Terrence Crawford at that point would have been a draw. But I think the reason why Crawford couldn't knock him out had nothing to do with weight and had nothing to do with power. It had to do with timing, because Madrimov presented such a weird style to him, right? Like who would he have really sparred up to that point? I mean, he's just coming off of destroying Errol Spence. And you remember a lot of people were saying, not us, well, certainly not me. I'm on record on a podcast somewhere saying, oh no, Terrence Crawford's going to knock his ass out, right? But leading up to that point, Ray, remember how everybody was talking about, I don't know, man, Errol Spence, he might be too strong. Remember all of that? Right. And what Terrence Crawford do, brother? Knock them down with a jab, bro.
Real quick. Also, I want to remind everybody something, right? And this is just something to just kind of think about as far as people moving up and down in weight. Sean Porter beat Alexander Usyk in the amateurs, right? Alexander Usyk is a current undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. Sean Porter ended his career at 147 pounds. Brother, don't sleep on Terrence Crawford. The weight cut is diabolical. You can call it weight bullying, whatever you want, but there's a real good chance that Terrence Crawford is more comfortable than he's ever been in his whole entire career right now, that he's in the best place he's ever been, bro. The place is going crazy right now. The velocity.
The challenger has entered the building, y'all.
Man,
it is
the champ is here.
Being escorted. The challenger has entered the building, and he is being escorted by Turkey.
And during America,
all y'all haters out there.
All y'all haters out there,
and all y'all people that got stock the show.
Warrior Class 3, man. I appreciate the love and the support, man. You're always one of the biggest supporters of this channel, man. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, man.
Yes,
Salute
sir.
to you, man. Thank you, King.
Yeah,
wow.
All you guys out there.
Look at this event, Ray. Look at all those cameras, brother.
This is nuts. Look, this outdid New York, and New York was packed in the streets. Clay was there.
Oh, yeah.
The streets was packed.
Listen. This is just a whole different energy, bro. The whole place is going crazy. They're booing him. You obviously got a lot of Mexican fans in the building. This is Las Vegas.
That's all right.
But it just shows you they come to support Canelo. Terrence is coming to go ahead and derail and mess up everybody's plans. Super confident, looking good, walking through. Look, Terrence also, we have to look at it and say Terrence is also having to take all this in. This is the biggest event he's ever been involved with. He's never been in this kind of spotlight before. The closest thing he probably had to something like this was probably the Los Angeles Madrimal fight one when he pulled up in the cars. But this is just a whole different energy. This is a whole different energy. There he is on the stage right now with Max Kellerman right now.
I'll tell you, I was there for this type of energy for Canelo Mayweather. I thought the energy for that was insane. The energy for Pacquiao versus Mayweather was insane. But guys, this is every bit at that level, if not more. There's a lot of people there right now.
I mean, look, I'll be honest with you. Terrence Crawford is. You got to say that Terrence Crawford's used to this, right? He's loving this. He's shown and proven that he loves the detractors. He's not used to being supported. He's not used to being celebrated. He's loving it, and he's loving the fact that so many people's come out. For him, it's just a bigger stage for him to show out in front of a bunch of people who are questioning him. The one thing he's going to love doing is at the end of this fight, pending a victory, hoping that a victory is what it is. He's going to be throwing this in their faces, bro. He's going to be throwing this all in their faces. He's going to be.
Man, if you guys are watching this right now, again, it's on the UFC YouTube. If you just click
it's on the Zone Boxing, it's on Ring Magazine, it's on the UFC,
everywhere.
It's on all the channels.
Netflix.
There's Bomac.
Man.
Bomac just stepped on the stage.
Yeah. Oh, you got. Oh, yeah. I ain't gonna say nothing. Never mind. You a little behind me. I had to. Got it like everywhere here. Multiple screens, different platforms, different, and I had to sync them all up.
Man, look at this. This is so cool. Like even the way they're presenting it. Do you notice how it's a screen, but then there's an advertisement to the left, and then there's an advertisement on the bottom in terms of how they're advertising the fight? Like this feels like a big event, and it's free, man.
It is a big event. It's a huge event. UFC cards in the hand. Look at that.
They just asked. They said Max Kellerman just asked. He said, everybody says you're going to run. He says, does it look like we're going to run? He says, we never let you down. He said, what's the difference? He said, what's the difference going to be in this fight? He said, ring IQ.
That's right, baby. That's what I said, Ray. That's what I said.
That's what I told you. That's what I said.
Told him he can't fight for him. He said, they said, what do you think about this crowd? He said, they can't fight for him.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember that Terrence Crawford loves this. He loves it when people are against him. 100%. He's the ultimate. It's that Mamba mentality, man. He loves this. He wants to be booed.
You know what's the greatest story in the United States of America? Is when you're a small town boy. Excuse me for saying them. I'm not calling Terrence a boy. But when you are that small town boy, you come from somewhere where people don't expect you to come from, and you become this superstar. And trust me, there's a lot of people from Oklahoma. There's a lot of people from Nebraska. There's a lot of people from Minnesota. There's a lot of people from Wisconsin, those mid countries. But they're not from the Texases or the Floridas, the New Yorks, the LAs. They're not from those areas where they generate and they just become these stars. It just makes you feel some type of way, man. It just does. It makes it all line up to be something special.
Man, look at that. And then they pop right back to a studio. Like, this looks so professional, gentlemen. Like, this looks like if you are getting...
It is professional. Of course.
No, but that's what I'm just trying to say, that they're doing everything in their power to show mainstream fans that our sport, boxing, is every bit as good as the NFL. Our sport, boxing, is every bit as dramatic. It's every bit. We have experts. We have 50-50 matches. Like, we got to see a great NFL week 1. Did we not, Ray? That Monday Night Football was amazing. That Monday Night Football was amazing. But even on our guillotine league, for fantasy football, Ray, what did our guys say? They said football's over now. It's all about Canelo Crawford. That's all they're talking about right now.
And check it. Look, so here's the funny thing.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say real quick. So you were talking about the way the studio looks, right? And the funding that they put into it. Think of a national football game when you're watching Chelsea versus Manchester, or you're watching Real Madrid versus United, right? This is what you get. This is exactly what you get in the background. This is a big platform that you're getting, and this looks like the stage that they set this on. So this shows you how big this is, and who is touching, and who is sponsored by, and how this is going to be relevant to the fans and elevate to us as boxing fans. This is great, man.
Man, I'm done. Shelton, it's too bad you're not already here in Vegas, bro. It's crazy. And free fights tomorrow, brother.
You better tell me you got some tickets.
Listen, man, I want to segue into what Jacob C said here. A lot of people, I've been putting these shorts out, right, talking about this fight. And, this morning I put one out. I came out of the gym and I explained that, the recovery, right? I spoke on the fact that I had to, I had to take 2 days off on the gym. I've been working hard. I'm really trying to hit these milestones, but just acknowledging, at some point during it, I'm like, damn, I got to rest it up a little bit, right? Like just super sore and just needed time to just rest up. And it said, I'm 48 years old. I just remember 10, 20 years ago when I would have just been running through this, working out, maybe, good night's rest, good 8 hours in would have had me good to go the next morning. But here we are, these guys towards the end of their careers, and unfortunately, sometimes that's when the biggest fights happen for these guys. It's their payday. It's a time when they become prize fighters. They've done everything as far as legacy is concerned, and their biggest fights end up being towards the end of their career. How is age, how is wear and tear going to play in this fight? Both these guys have their share of it, right? Where Canelo Alvarez may be the younger fighter years-wise, he's had the bigger wars, right? The Triple G fight, the Dimitri Bivol fights, right? These are fights that he's been in since 15 years old as a professional, fighting adult men, going all the way up until this point right now. And then you got Terrence Crawford, where it's just father time at the end of the day. He's 38 years old. Here we go. Jacob C., salute to you, King, said, IQ and styles are very different in my opinion. Crawford struggled in the Madrimov fight. Some people said maybe age showed up for Terrence Crawford that night. Maybe Father Time finally showed up when he fought against Madrimov. Me, myself, I've gone on record to say that I believe Madrimov's style is just stylistically a complicated style. And, Bud, not to say he struggled against them Eastern Europeans, but he's always given those Eastern Europeans that respect. He did the same thing with my guy Postol, right? Madrimov, like he always seems to just, those guys always seem to present a bit of an issue as far as him being able to do what he feels like doing. He's always had to adjust and bring that ring IQ to the table. Looking at that Madrimov fight, is there anything that's bringing Canelo Alvarez into your mind as far as those fights stylistically?
No,
does that mean anything to you at 154?
No, because I'm laughing that was even said. That why would you even try to compare triangle theories in your mind? Like, first of all, none of these guys, and when I say triangle theories, you're putting three people in a conversation that have nothing to do with each other, but two fought and two are about to fight. That's it. Those things don't matter. Each fight's different. Each opponent's different. Every time you step in that ring, it's a different outcome or a different situation. You may have a bad performance to a great performance, but to sit there and try to, even if it did look bad for Bud or he did look like he was off, we don't know the implications of what happened in your mindset. I mean, to him, from what you've seen, he might have tweaked the leg, did this, did that, but he got in the ring and fought. A lot of fighters are going in those rings hurt. You heard Benavidez say it. Benavidez himself said, when we go into that ring, we go in there with a little bit of an injury. All of us. It doesn't matter what we do. We train until we get to the ring. So we don't know what was wrong, but let's not make excuses. The point of the matter is that was a fight he won. It's in the books. Who cares? Now we're here. We're here today. And if styles make fights, okay, style make fights. If you think IQ doesn't have nothing to do with it, I'm sorry to tell you. IQ has a ton to do with it. You don't believe me? Ask Canelo why he's still mad at that Floyd fight. Ask Canelo why he thinks that Floyd outsmarted him and he wants this fight to be his rematch with Floyd, even though he never got that fight. Ask him, because IQ matters. And he got out IQ'd by Floyd Mayweather when he was supposed to be the bigger, stronger, and better fighter, and he wasn't. So IQ doesn't, bro.
Just to segue in and say, stylistically though, as far as what Madrimov brought to the table, do you see Canelo Alvarez bringing any of that energy that Madrimov brought in that fight? Do you see Madrimov?
I mean, in that case, that's what I mentioned earlier, right? He's brought in boots. He might come in there slimmer. And my thing is, I think he's going to come in there smaller. I think he's going to try to be quicker. He's going to try to give some guess movements, some good feints. He's going to try to catch Bud off guard. His power's still going to be there. He's not going to lose too much power as long as he stays within his range. But at the same time, you know what I mean? You don't know what Canelo's going to do. We don't know if he's going to come in at 190. He may come in at 175. He may come in at 190. We don't know. But the point is that we know Canelo's going to come in that ring to fight. How he moves and how he interacts in that ring is also a guess. I believe that with the training he's been doing with boots and things of that nature, it is going to give us some inclination that he's trying to move faster. He's trying to get a little bit more movement in his rhythm. So we'll see.
My hot take, like I told you, Clay, and the chat will probably start chiming in on this one, but this entire fight will be 100% dictated by the game plan that Terrence Crawford brings into the table. Because just like Roy Jones Jr. said, brothers, Canelo got one way to win. Now, I told you guys this on the show. I said Canelo's like that knuckleball pitcher. He's so damn good, bro. He's so damn good that only two people were really able to hit a home run off of him. Everybody else was striking out, right? Mm-hmm. But so, yeah, maybe it's just the one style, but he's so refined like a samurai to that one style, bro, that it's hard. Like people, and you saw, Clay, when we did that show last week, I argued for Canelo for the sake of having a equal panel. Remember that, Ray? Even though y'all know I rock with Terrence Crawford 15-0, right. I argued for the sake of being fair and being equal. Having said all of that, though, man, if you got a samurai who knows how to cut in perfection the way he does versus a kung fu master that can do all kinds of different styles on you. He could bust out some Chinese blades on you. He could bust out some Viking swords on you. He could bust out some Arabian Middle Eastern style blades. He got some Filipino daggers. You know what I'm saying? Like Terrence Crawford, just like Roy Jones said, has so many different ways to win. This literally will come down to that first 9 minutes of the fight.
Yep.
If Crawford comes in the way everyone is talking, they're all talking and they're all expecting, Ray. I'm going to cook on this one too, because then it's going to be controversial, right? Everybody's talking about, the only way Crawford can win is, you got to outbox Canelo, right? You got to move to the outside. You got to pick him apart. No, I disagree. I think Crawford, this fight, ladies and gentlemen, will be the Hagler Hearns of this generation. I think Crawford's going to go in there first round, and I think Crawford's going to be like, you know what? Let me test out my theory that when I accepted this fight, I am bigger than dude. And I've spent a year now testing my power against Lester Martinez, testing my power against some of these young cats, right?
Steve Nelson.
Let me see if Canelo can take it. And he's going to walk in there, bro, and he's going to be like, bob up. And when he presses Canelo, that's when Canelo's got a box, right? So I urge everyone to go watch Canelo versus Golovkin, the first fight, because that's one of the first few times we saw Canelo be like, all right, I might have to use some of my boxing skills today because I can't grind it with this dude. And I know that a lot of people, Ray, and I say this to say that a lot of people who are like, no. If Terrence Crawford boxes to the outside, that's going to be the better look for him. I disagree because Danny Jacobs tried to do that shit. And what did Canelo do? Canelo showed that he has the movements to go unders. He had the movements to go slips. He was so good at defensively. And this is what I talked about last week on the show. Not enough people give enough credit to Canelo on how good his defense actually is on the one style that he does, brother. Not enough people give him credit for that. So why in the world would Crawford take a chance and sniper him on the outside when he doesn't need to, man? I say we make this a dogfight, baby. We make this a dogfight and catch him the same exact way Terrence Crawford caught Kell Brook. The same way Terrence Crawford caught Errol Spence. The same way Terrence Crawford catches everyone who tells Terrence Crawford, hey, man, you might want to be careful. Why is Terrence Crawford got to be the one careful? He's bigger. He's stronger. He's confident. Terrence Crawford for the knockout, y'all. But if you don't believe that Terrence Crawford will knock him out, if you don't believe, then bet the under, because I believe this will go under 10.5 rounds. It's plus 350 right now. Bet heavy on that, but we're about to see the Hagler Hearns of our generation. Go ahead.
I had nothing. I was just saying, I like the fact.
Hold on a second, right? So I just kind of dialing back just a little bit to say the Madrimov fight was there, and we saw Terrence Crawford. I don't want to say struggle, because that's not the word I think properly describes what we saw happen with Madrimov, but we saw him have to adjust, and we saw Madrimov legitimately and effectively, at least for the first 3 to 5 rounds, 3 to 5 rounds in that fight, cause Terrence Crawford to have to adjust, figure out what was going on in the ring, process data. And for me, that just showed the how deep his bag goes, that he could be presented with issues and he can figure it out inside the ring. And with Bomac as well, nobody getting nervous, nobody allowing the fight to break down and being able to take control of the fight and win the fight, right? Now, if Canelo Alvarez is looking for something in Terrence Crawford's resume as something he could break down and take advantage of, the closest thing to me might be the Madrimov fight, right? I mean, there's other fights with Mean Machine, you know what I mean? He did get hurt. Somebody could say he got touched, and anybody can get hit, right? But Canelo Alvarez at this point in the game is going to come into this fight either confident in who he is and what he brings to the table and force Terrence Crawford to show him differently, or is he preparing? Has he already given Terrence Crawford the credibility? Has he already in some way or another allowed Terrence Crawford to get into his head when you see him bringing a Jaron Ennis, when you hear about him being in the best shape he's ever been in? This is people from his camp saying that they've seen him working extra hard. He's sparring differently. He's cutting weight differently. He's coming into this fight more athletic. He's not coming in as heavy as he's ever been. They're talking about this Canelo Alvarez going back to a Canelo Alvarez we haven't seen in years. That being said, changing your game in the 9th inning, is this a plus? Is this going to help Canelo Alvarez in this fight and make this fight even more competitive? Or could that be Canelo Alvarez's legitimate downfall, changing who he's been at 168 this whole entire time?
That's so funny that you say that. You know what? So I actually want to bring something back into fruition that I said a while ago, and I think this is going to happen. I think these guys are going to come in different styles than we're expected to. I remember I was telling you that I think when we get to the Haney and Norman fight, what if these guys swap? And this is a private conversation, guys. They swap styles, right? Like, who's going to benefit better in that fight? Me and Clay had this conversation. Now I'm thinking here, I seen Bud training. I seen Bud training for short shots, you know what I mean? Punching certain angles and certain things in the pocket and things like that. And on the other hand, I've also seen that Canelo has been losing weight, boxing with more radical and flexible fighters, and looking to get some speed in his feet himself. So, do we get a little bit more questionable? What is Canelo bringing? You know what I mean? What style he's coming with? Blah 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 with Canelo, and do we get a little bit more? Man, are we getting a little bit more strong, punch through? Because I'm listening to both of you guys, and it sounds like that's what's going to happen. Like, we're going to have a confusion here. It's like they just mind swap each other, and they're going to go into pause before people start going crazy in here. You know what I mean? Like, was it Freaky Friday when the brain switch over?
Yeah. Great movie.
Yeah, right. And they go into each other's body, and they start fighting each other. Damn, I said it again. Pause. But they go in there and they start fighting each other in each other's styles that doesn't mimic anything that they thought that we're going to get into. So then they're back at square one, right? It's crazy. I think this is something that may possibly happen.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Let me just shout out to Warrior Class 3 real quick. Again, with the support, $5 holler in the building. Salute Warrior Class. Thank you again, man. Says this fight will be more reflective, like Canelo versus Duran versus Bud Crawford as Hitman. Well, like Canelo and Duran versus Bud Crawford as Hitman Hearns.
And you guys remember that ended with a second round knockout, right?
Right.
Now, the reason why, and let me add to that, Warrior Class. Now, real
good Warrior Class. I like that one. I ain't gonna lie.
And Warrior Class. Now you and I are seeing eye to eye, Warrior Class. Now you're seeing what I'm seeing, right? Because so I went back and you know how I always do this with you too, Ray. I'm like, hey man, go watch that fight. Go watch this fight. Go on. I went back, started watching it. There's 4 fights, 2 from Crawford's side, 2 from Canelo's side, that I would want the chat and everybody who's going to watch us on replay with this fire information from the panel. I want you guys to watch and have fun watching it. All right. Take away the fact that size won't be the issue. Just take it away, because this is going to be all about skill and mano y mano. Okay. When you watch Canelo, go ahead and watch when Canelo fought Golovkin the first time, which is I was there ringside. I 100% believe Golovkin beat him, but just watch it. Watch the cadence of the fight. Watch the ebb and flow of the fight. Watch how Canelo handles it and how he adjusts to it. All right. Watch that fight. And then actually watch the Bivol fight again. Because the Bivol fight is the first time you really saw Canelo a bit confused. And in that fight, he was kind of like, hold on, Clay. In that fight,
I'm right with you. I ain't telling you. I'm saying I'm right with you. Go.
He was confused, and he was kind of like, this dude's bigger than me. I'm a little confused. Like, do I really want to get knocked out today? I don't really want to get knocked out today.
And what he do, Reyes? What did he do?
He just shelled it up, baby. And that's, hey, you know what? And here's the thing. I'm gonna say this right now too. The difference between Canelo, when Canelo shows up, I'm not saying he's being a little bitch or nothing like that. What I'm saying is, when he shelled up against James Kirkland, he had a plan to knock James Kirkland out.
Right.
But when he shelled up against Bivol was just too quick and too fast. He couldn't counter him the same way he could counter James Kirkland. So I urge everyone to watch those 2 fights of Canelo. Then
again, James Kirkland and Dimitri Bivol.
No. The Dimitri Bivol fight and the first Golovkin fight.
Boom.
Those are the 2 fights I want you guys to watch Canelo, because we're talking about ebb and flow, cadence of a fight, how Canelo handles it within the style that he's mastered. And he has mastered this style. All right. So none of us are shitting on Canelo. In fact, we praise Canelo. Canelo might be the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. If he is not, and he's still Julio Cesar Chavez or Salvador Sanchez, or however you want to say it, you can't say that Canelo's not in the top 5 greatest Mexican fighters of all time. Canelo is great. We know this. What everybody is waiting to see, which is what I am predicting, Ray, is the greatness of Terrence Crawford. I think every single person that has doubted Terrence Crawford has doubted him to their own demise, brother. All right? There is no blueprint to beat Terrence Crawford. And even when we saw it at its most dramatic moment, when he was in a corner with 6 minutes left, and Bomac says to him, "You're losing the fight." And he goes, "I'm losing the fight?" What'd he do? Came back and knocked his ass out and made the dad stop the fight. Because what do you know when you're the trainer in the corner? And I can speak to this, Clay. You know when your guy's about to get hurt for real. And you got to throw in that towel. And I could see for the first time Reynoso going, nah, bro. Nah, I ain't about to let Canelo at 35 get hurt like this. I'm going to stop this shit right now before this turns bad, right? So why do I say, ladies and gentlemen, why do I tell you that it's going to be Hagler Hearns? Because I would like for you to go back in time with me in that epic fight that we still talk about to this day. That fight was so damn long ago, man. Even kids, they're like, oh, yeah, I heard about Hagler Hearns. Because it was that epic. And this fight is going to be that epic. Hagler Hearns. But think about it, Ray. When Hagler came in there, right? Kind of short, stocky, coming forward, switching left, switching right. And Hearns was kind of forced to be like, well, I wanted the box, but shit, man, you throwing hands.
They wouldn't blasting with each other.
The fight, I urge everyone to rewatch the fight. At one point, Ray, in the second round, Tommy Hearns was so into just like mano y mano that he even switched southpaw. And when have you ever seen up to that point Tommy Hearns ever switched southpaw? He ain't ever switched southpaw, bro. But he was like, this is just a dogfight. And I'm telling you right now, if Crawford goes with the plan, guys, where he's like, I'm going to test this motherfucker tonight. And in the first 3 minutes, he's the one on the inside. He's the one walking him down, Clay. He's the one peppering him. It's going to make Canelo go either one of two ways. He's going to take the shots, and then Canelo's going to be like, and Canelo's going to say to himself with his confident brain, he's going to say, well, I ain't no punk bitch. Fuck you. I'm big. I'm going to get you too. And then it'll turn into that firefight. And in a firefight, I bet on Crawford for a knockout. In every firefight, you always bet on Crawford for the knockout, right? Or Canelo's going to go, oh, shit. I might want to box him a little bit more. And now we're going to see the Bivol Canelo that I was talking to you guys about. Except Canelo doesn't have the counter moves to fool Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford ain't walking into no shots now. He's not going to do that. So, again, man, I land my plane on that. This is going to be one of the greatest fights y'all have ever seen, and it's for free TV, so stop fucking complaining.
No, listen, right? First of all, shout out to Literary Pharaoh with the $5 in the building. Says Bud is an instinctual fighter. If he starts overthinking, it's curtains for Bud. He'll look like he did against Madrimov if he overthinks. And once again, I think I spoke on this a little bit yesterday, right? When we're talking about Bud thinking, right? Or what you might think is overthinking. If Bud is thinking, Bud is doing what you might look at. It's instinctual for Bud to think, not overthink, but he's a guy who's going to process data. He's reading what's happening in the ring and he's going to adjust accordingly. This is who he is. He's not a one-dimensional fighter. He's a multi-dimensional fighter. He brings all of the options to the table. Anything that's an option, he'll take advantage of it. Number one. Number two, Canelo Alvarez. I love that you brought up the Dimitri Bivol fight, right? I love that you brought up that fight because a lot of people felt like Dimitri Bivol, they want to give him the win because he was a bigger fighter, right? And Canelo was just chewed more than he just bit off more than he can chew. He went to 175. He dared to be great, and he went into a space where he just couldn't compete. And they don't acknowledge the fact that Dimitri Bivol boxed Canelo, that he used his agility, his athleticism, that he frustrated Canelo. He never really hurt Canelo. He frustrated Canelo. Canelo didn't have the answers. And like you said, Reyes, what did he do? He shelled up, and he hoped that he could get Dimitri Bivol to bait him in to come into something and catch him while he was coming in. And Dimitri was just too smart for that. I'm not playing that game with you, brother. I know what you do. People have to factor in the fact that this is a cerebral fight. And Canelo Alvarez has put himself in a position conveniently to where when he went up to 168, when he went up to 175, he didn't need to be as cerebral as he needed to be in the lower weight classes. He was able to go ahead and use what he does naturally and do it in a weight class where most of the people who were fighting weren't cerebral enough to really take advantage of him in that way, right? And I'll go with Gervonta Tank Davis for a hot second, right? Shout out to Tank Davis.
Find another fight. I want to hear Bub.
Listen, it don't matter, right? So Gervonta Tank Davis does the same thing in my personal opinion, right? He baits you in. He lulls you into a false sense of security. You become aggressive. He takes advantage of that and he punches while you're punching. He processes the data and he knocks you out. But as soon as he gets confronted with that situation with Lamont Rhodes, somebody who was also taking his time, counter punching him, not just attacking him, not feeling like he was bigger than him, right? It became a little bit more complicated for him in that fight. And I think that's what you're going to see with Canelo Alvarez. I think that somebody who's not just feeding people who don't just feed into the energy of having to outpunch him. Somebody who's coming into the ring not bigger than him, not going to press him like a Jaime Munguia did, or like Edgar Berlanga tried to do for a half a second, then he got on his bicycle as well, right? When you saw William Skull get in there, issues, couldn't cut the ring off, couldn't make it happen. Even with Jermell Charlo, when Jermell Charlo decided he wasn't going to engage anymore, Canelo wasn't really able to catch up with him. He was able to get away from Canelo. Canelo, if you give him those type of problems and you force him to do what? Adjust. He doesn't do it that often as people think he does. From my experience watching him, I have not seen him do it that much. So it's going to be interesting to see Terrence Crawford give him those different looks, give him those different issues, give him math problems, and it's going to be interesting to watch Canelo carry the one, right? Round up to the next power. You know what I'm saying? Remember those equations and formulas on how to solve those algebra problems, how to attack that geometry. It's going to be interesting to see him tap back into that bag and show the world that this is another wrinkle in his game that people forgot about. And like I said earlier, Ray, if he does come into this fight already thinking and overthinking, shout out to Literary Pharaoh, if Canelo comes in there overthinking and tries to compete with Terrence Crawford in a space where he's trying to convince people outside the ring that he is this cerebral fighter, right. He might really be walking into the ring with already cutting off 2-3 toes off of his left foot. He might just be coming in injured just off the mental space. You get to this show, you don't leave the party with somebody else. You leave the party with who brought you to the dance. And I wonder if Canelo Alvarez, with all the moves I've seen him making, as far as Jaron Ennis, as far as what I'm hearing about the weight cut, as far as him coming off that fight with William Skull, is this guy going to try to be the better boxer than Terrence Crawford? Because if he does, my fear for him is that he's playing a game that's Terrence's game, and he gives Terrence the best opportunity to win the fight at that point, especially if Terrence Crawford comes out with a whole different game plan. I don't want to just go ahead and lean on Terrence, though. I definitely want to talk about Canelo Alvarez as well on how he can win this fight and what he brings to the table and what Terrence is going to have to deal with in real time, whether it's one style or two styles, whatever it is. He is the undisputed super middleweight champion of the world for a reason.
And let me just say that. And like I said, for all of you guys who are maybe listening to us for the first time, last week, right? People were eviscerating me when I was arguing for Canelo, and I was just giving the points, right? We can argue this all day, which actually brings me to my point on why this grand opening for boxing is so amazing. Number one, it's extremely accessible. It's not $100 like Pacquiao Mayweather was. And even though Pacquiao Mayweather broke that record, you still have to pay $100. It wasn't $100 like you have to pay for Pacquiao McGregor, right? And Pacquiao McGregor, as we all know, was really the first Jake Paul type of a thing we have to see, right? It was someone who was not a boxer fighting TBE at the time, right? So I say that to say again, for people who think I'm doing a crazy type of talk or I'm delusional in any way at all. First of all, Ray and Clay, you guys know my background, so I don't need to prove nothing to nobody. Secondly, I've done the tape, I've done the work, and I'm telling you right now, if you're a fighter and all that you've done for the last 10 years is get better at knocking everyone out. This is a factual statistic. Go look it up. Since 2014 to 2024, Terrence Crawford has knocked down 15 opponents. They're not 15 bums, by the way. They're not 15 taxi cab drivers. They're not 15 people who didn't have skill. Knocking out people is every bit a skill as Barry Bonds hitting home runs. It is a skill to do that. And what you bring to the table is just like Barry Bonds, Ray. Oh, well, I'm with the Giants now, and I just met Victor Conte, so I'm going to be bigger. Well, you're still going to be able to hit the home runs. The difference now, though, is the ball's going to go a lot further, right? The only difference between Terrence Crawford with his skill and people who question his power, y'all about to find out what it looks like when a man who's been knocking people out for 10 years puts a little weight on, puts a little bit of weight on, right? And actually then brings that type of weight to the table. So like I said, man, it sounds like I'm really overselling you guys on Crawford. But please keep that energy when we come back next week and I happen to be correct. Just please keep the energy, because I'm telling you right now, it'll shock everyone at how strong Terrence Crawford is. It will shock everyone at what Canelo actually does to maneuver into making sure he doesn't get knocked out. Because Canelo only has two choices, man. Run into the storm or run away from the storm. And in both ways, he's going to lose. So like I said in the beginning of my statement, this entire fight will be dictated about which game plan Terrence Crawford uses. And just like the brother who said earlier, right? If Crawford overthinks, he's going to fuck this bag up. Yeah. If he goes in there like he is, Terrence Bud Crawford, he's either going to knock Canelo out or he's going to win by decision the same way Bivol beat Canelo.
That's actually very interesting, by the way, that you said that, because what I'm hearing you speaking on is about control, right? And you're expecting Terrence to take control of this fight. And by taking control of this fight, in a way, he smothers Canelo Alvarez's potential offense, right? He forces Canelo's hand into moving a certain way as Canelo fights to take control back of this fight, right? He's going to either fight to take the control back, or he's going to allow Terrence Crawford to be in control and play the odds of him finding a hole that he can take advantage of. That's going to be interesting to see, because it's so funny, because people have all said that Terrence Crawford needs to be on his bicycle. He needs to be moving. He needs to stay away from the power. And I don't think enough people are really entertaining the fact and the idea that Terrence Crawford may be the offensive fighter in this fight. Maybe the fighter setting the pace, taking the control, forcing Canelo Alvarez to move around and confusing and making Canelo Alvarez have to think about how he's going to get in past what Terrence is doing in order to get his offense finally going. I mean, Bomac, for all argument's sake, could be like, listen, this guy is strong when he controls the pace. He's strong when he controls the narrative. When he's moving around, forcing fighters to react to what he's doing, this is when he's in his most comfortable space. The name of this game may be, no, bro, we got to get him trying to figure out how to outdo the game you're bringing in. And if we can take that control and never give it back, and I don't want to go into MMA, but it's kind of like Khabib constantly shooting for that takedown. He changes the whole game plan, because before you can even get your offense going, you got to figure out how to stop these takedowns. Is he taking you down every time? No. But come about the third round, middle of the second round or so, all of a sudden, you're either getting tired, you're getting pulled down, and we never even see the fighter that we thought could be Khabib. We never even see that fighter, because the whole fight, you were dealing with this issue that before you can even get your offense going, you had to deal with this issue. And that might very well play into this fight. I like that, man.
And like I said, too, to the people who are saying, oh, well, no, Terrence Crawford has to box him. Just listen to me for a second. Go watch the Golovkin versus Canelo fight. And I'm not talking about Golovkin's strength. I'm just talking about the cadence of a fight. When it turned into a firefight, it wasn't Canelo that was trying to bring it to Golovkin. It was the other way around. If Terrence Crawford brings it to Canelo, he will revert back to either boxing or what I'm counting on. What I'm actually counting on is Canelo believing in himself enough to say, fuck this little guy, I'm going to knock him out. And now we get Hagler Hearns. And in Hagler Hearns, I picked Hagler, the guy who could switch, the guy who had two different styles, the guy who was better on the inside, the guy who could catch you at any moment, right? In this fight, name me a fight that Crawford went toe-to-toe with someone, and it wasn't even really toe-to-toe. It was like strategic inside chess game that Crawford would do. And then what does he do? He catches you with a punch you didn't see. He catches you with a jab that knocked you down. He catches you, like, remember how he knocked out Kell Brook, right?
Right.
He stopped the fight. They were like, no. You're not in it. I am telling you, I'm not talking about, and I agree with the people who are saying, hey, Canelo's not going to get dropped like that. All right, you're right. Maybe he won't, because he's strong in the legs. Because he's got a great base, because he's been doing equestrian since he was 8. I agree. But I can also see a referee looking at Canelo in danger, all of a sudden going, no, that's it. Just like the Kell Brook fight. I can also see, just like in the Sean Porter fight, Canelo's looking like in danger. He got knocked down for the first time, and Eddie Reynoso going, nah, bro, He's been kind of hitting you with these hard shots for the last 9 minutes. I'm not going to let this continue and throw the towel for his guy who's only 35 that still got 2 more fights for about $100 million.
I don't know, man. Listen, I was supposed to talk about 30 minutes ago. It's okay. I had to write stuff down. Hopefully I remember all this, and I don't even know if it's on topic anymore. No worries. But I'm going to say this. I'm going to counter everything that has been said. I agree. You know what I mean? My points Clay knows I agree. I showed him one of my betting tickets, so it's cool. But with that being said, at the end of the day, I do think that there's all those things are possible and may well be, right? But I'm looking at the situation is that we're only looking at what Bud can do, what Bud has to bring, what Bud has to do, what Bud is capable of doing. But we're underestimating what Canelo has done. It's like Clay said and mentioned, don't lead a party with what didn't bring you here, right? What got you to the party, take it with you. So I believe Canelo can do so. The only thing I think that may be slightly different is that maybe he doesn't give the approach that he's going to dance around the ring. Maybe he gets his feints through that. Once he closes the distance, maybe he goes back into a situation where Canelo may have to smother Bud, put Bud in an uncomfortable position, and pound on him once he's inside and uses his paws again, because I know somebody's going to say, pause with the pounding. But anyway, punches unlimited on Bud, no matter where he's hitting them, and just keep punching until Bud can't absorb no more, right? Making Bud spin out of certain things and look for help from the ref and have to clinch. Yes, body shots hurt too. We ain't talking about that yet. We haven't talked about body shots. Who's going to be wicked to the body? And this is why I was talking about strength, because even though Bud may be coming in, Bud also hasn't felt power in a real fight with 8-ounce gloves from 168-plus pounder. So, yes, he's smart with guys with 10-pound gloves, 12-pound gloves, whatever the case may be. Ounce, excuse me. I don't know why I said pound. Y'all can slap me for that. 12-ounce gloves or whatever, right? But with that being said, yeah, okay, that may be something different there and taking the absorption of those gloves. But now we're talking a whole different market, a fast pace, everything that can be a counter for Bud's pimp game, as we would say, right? He can go in there, he can do his thing, but he can also go in there and get clipped. I'm not disrespecting Bud in any way. What I wanted to point out also is with the Triple G thing, right? Bud is acceptable to doing the same things Triple G did. But what teaches you lessons is life. If I did this and lost to Triple G, or people thought I lost, guess what? Came back. Was it a draw, the first one? Then a loss, okay. So they thought he lost and he came back, he won. Right? They came back again. Of course, that was unnecessary, but he came back and won because he learned from it. So why would he think, if you think it's a Triple G situation where somebody that can do some similar things as Triple G and put him in that position, he's seen it before. So that's another thing that helps Canelo move forward in that fight. Then you have another point that you made about how he fought Sean Porter and he was told he was against the ropes. Sean Porter smothered Bud. He made that fight difficult for Bud. Bud did not expect these things. So we've seen it twice where Bud did not expect certain things to happen in the fight. Sean Porter, very big time that happened. And another time it was Madrimov. So any one of those things could catch him off guard. He goes in there prepared for one, something else happens. And Canelo is very smart enough, and I think he would adjust to the sense of, okay, I get him. And I told you, it's a game plan. I think both of them have a similar game plan. And I think it's going to react to each other, and it's actually going to bring us back to where we are. Like, we're going to be at the same dance no matter what. The rodeo ain't going to change. It's just going to have a different face. And I think that's what's going to happen in this fight. I do have Bud winning. Actually, I have him by stoppage through a dream. Not by choice, through a dream. And it was early.
Dream away, brother. Dream away. That's awesome.
And I bet on that. I ain't going to lie to you. I bet on that. Now, it is what it is. I'm not going to, make a big deal over it. I also picked Bud to win a certain couple of different ways. I even picked a draw because it could possibly go down as a draw.
And it can be a draw. It can be a draw. And we can talk about that being a draw because I'm telling you with my own eyes, gentlemen, I was there. I can feel the shots. I was so close for Golovkin and Canelo. And I'm like, Golovkin totally won. Totally won this because at one point I was even saying, if I want to be nice, I'll say 7-5 for Golovkin. But if I'm being honest, I could have scored it 8-4 for Golovkin. And when they said it was a split draw, bro, I lost my mind. I was like, and I didn't lose my mind, Clay, because it wasn't like I was saying that Canelo isn't a great fighter. I lost my mind because you saw two great fights, possibly one of the greatest fights you will ever see at that weight class. It was an amazing first fight, and they robbed the right guy. They robbed him, and that to me, it hurts, man. It hurts because you can feel the shots. You can feel how much damage they both took, you know? So I could see it being a draw, and if you want to bet draw, what was it, Ray? Plus 1,400 for a draw or something? Yeah. If you want to bet draw, because that could be a possibility. I can see the possibility like Ray's talking about.
Yeah,
I like the fact that we bring up, the triangle theory is a theory that, as many times as it's been debunked as far as it not being a promise or it's not being as effective as people like to think about it, I always think it's got so much legitimacy to it. There's a reason why we always go back to the resume. We always go back to the fights that they struggled in or the fights they did their best in. It gives us some perspective, right? Well, none of us have a crystal ball that's going to predict the literal future of what's going to happen, but you got to gauge somewhere, right? You got to reference something to get some kind of perspective as to what's going to happen in these fights. But one thing I can say is that the one thing about the triangle theory that I always think people just understate is the fact that these fighters make it to the other side of these fights better fighters because of these fights. These experiences change these fighters. What we've seen Terrence Crawford potentially struggle in with Sean Porter adds to his resume and it adds to his his pedigree. He takes it and he learns and he gets better, right? That's one thing about Terrence Crawford. That's one thing, for an example, as a fighter, Xander Zayas, I love about Xander Zayas right now. As we're watching Xander Zayas develop into the fighter he's going to ultimately be, every time he gets in the ring, you see him improve. You see him in the fight have a hole in the game, and then the next fight, you see him close up that hole. Terrence Crawford, as I've stated before, and I'm not sure if anybody in the panel spoke before about the Madrimov fight, was the best fight he could have had before Canelo Alvarez fight, right? It was a fight that woke him up and made him be like, damn. And that made him dial in. And that also is going to make him even more confident going into the Canelo fight, because those are the kind of fights that fighters come out on the other side better fighters. I've asked a question and I gave you the 5 fights that Canelo Alvarez had, his last 5 fights. Edgar Berlanga, Jaime Munguia, John Ryder, Dimitri Bivol, and was it Sergey before that? I don't know who it was before that. But ultimately, out of those fights, when you looked at those fights, maybe the Dimitri Bivol fight, we might find out what he learned, right? But when you look at Terrence Crawford's last 5 fights, I can't remember them all in the back of my head. Maybe I can. Errol, Sean Porter, who did he fight right before Sean Porter? Was it Kel? Was it Kel or was it Amir? It was Kel?
Kel Brook.
It was Kel, then Amir Khan. And then
no,
what was
that? Before Amir Khan, I thought it was Benavidez.
Jose Benavidez?
It was Benavidez, then Amir Khan.
Okay, yeah. So in no specific order, those were the last 5 fights. Who do you think developed, got better? Who was presented with more issues to where they had to become a better fighter in the next fight? Who had the more challenging, the more challenging last 5 fights? I would argue that Terrence did. I think Terrence has been a fighter who's had to stay on his toes more than Canelo. I think Canelo may have been lulled into not having to stay on his toes, just being the better fighter in the ring. That's why people say he's cherry picking. That's why people say he never fought David Benavidez. That's why people say he never fought Demetrius Andrade. That's why people said he never fought Jamal Charlo. That's why people say the things that they do, because strategically he's always had that whole country behind him. He's always been the draw, and he's always been able to pick his fights. Now, listen, Saturday will be the test to find out what that cherry picking did, if it was cherry picking. I think Terrence Crawford has a better last 5 fights, and I think he's just been the fighter who hasn't had the comfort of just being regular. He's had to be special. People want to knock his resume. That's cool, but I believe that's what you see in him. Now, I don't want to knock Canelo because I agree with everything Ray said as far as what Canelo brings to the table and the possibilities are there, but he'll have to go into a bag, in my opinion, that he hasn't had to go into in a while. And I wonder how fresh, how sharp, how efficient those tools are. And like I keep on saying, you change the game in the 9th inning, I mean, we'll see what ends up happening. Terrence is going to be Terrence. Is Canelo going to be Canelo? That's the question.
And to your point too, just so that you know, after Bivol, he went Golovkin, who was 45, almost 46 at that point. John Ryder, the smaller Charlo, and that was a last minute replacement, remember, because he was supposed to fight the bigger Charlo.
Right.
Smaller Charlo. So Charlo was the one climbing up. He was like, I'll do it because I don't know why he said he'd do it. Maybe he thought he could test his strength, and he found out real quick that he's no Terrence Crawford. So, and then Jaime Munguia, Ed Berlanga, and then that William Skull debacle that we just saw. All right. Now, to your point, Clay, Jose Benavidez. In fact, let me go before Jose Benavidez Jr. Can I do that, Ray? Let me do that so that I can explain the magnitude of the greatness of Terrence Crawford. All right. Jeff Horn, who Manny Pacquiao didn't knock out, he knocked out Jeff Horn. Jose Benavidez Jr., which is a fight you guys should all see if you want to know the type of inside fighting and the high IQ on the inside. The inside of what of how good Terrence Crawford is on the inside. Watch the Jose Benavidez Jr. fight. Amir Khan.
Yeah.
Kavaluskas. Sorry, Boots. Egidijus Kavaluskas. All right. Kell Brook, Sean Porter, Avanesian, Errol Spence, and then Madrimov. All different style fights, all the same results except Madrimov. They were all knocked the F out. So if all I know how to do is knock people out, what makes you think I can't knock out Canelo? See, I'm talking about the mentality of Bud here, guys. I'm telling you. What happened after the Madrimov fight? He figured it out. He was like, okay, Madrimov was confusing as fuck, but the one thing that Madrimov didn't do is hurt me. And if this guy just knocked dude out in Riyadh, and he's 154, and he's scary, and I didn't even feel that. Maybe I can take on Canelo. Let me revisit this some more. Let me think about it some more. And the minute he said, you know what, I want to fight Canelo, right? I think he baited Canelo into a trap. I do.
Yeah, also, Jay I'm not saying that Canelo Alvarez cherry picked, right? I don't want to. What I'm saying is that's what people talk about with Canelo in his last 5 fights, right? That he didn't challenge himself. That he picked fights outside of the fight that they want to see him with David Benavidez. He has a history of leaving the division before fighting a Jamal Charlo, before fighting a Demetrius Andrade, right? And what I'm saying is, in theory, it will be tested on Saturday, right? Because the development is got to be, you got to be the best fighter you are. And if he's diving into a Danny Jacobs bag, for example, to fight Terrence Crawford, that was a long time ago. Who are you now at 33 years old with all the fights you've been through to dive into that Danny Jacobs? Maybe he can bring it back, right? Canelo Alvarez is a tried true champion, in my opinion. Undisputed, he deserves all the respect in the world. The accolades is earned. Like you said, he unified the division. So did he cherry pick his way through the 168 division? No. But was he challenged that way in the 168 division? I think there's an argument to say that it wasn't that challenging for him to do what he did. Outside of like Triple G, I mean, he wasn't confronted with issues that he had to adjust. There's an argument there to say that. We'll see on Saturday. But if Canelo Alvarez indeed is tapping into a bag that he hasn't been in years, it could reflect in a bad way for him in that fight. I'm just being honest with you on what it is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying.
I'm saying, Clay, there's nothing that we've been very fair in this entire panel for the last 2 weeks, man. Right? We're very fair. We did an entire debate where I even had to argue for Canelo. Now what we're talking about as we're closer to the fight is, I could sit here and I could try to convince everybody in the panel why Canelo has all these advantages. But then again, I could tell you the truth of what I feel in my heart, bro.
At this point, 4 days out.
Yeah,
at this point, 4 days out. We got to speak to it.
Yeah, the force is strong here in Vegas, man. And I'm telling you, the Jedi, Terrence Crawford, he about to chop down Darth Vader, bro. He about to have him. He's about to chop them hands off. All right, I'm telling you,
it's gonna be a special evening. I'm gonna throw the link up in a minute for people coming. Give me a minute, guys, because Ray's gonna be leaving soon. I don't even know if he left already, but he'll be leaving soon. So I just want to make sure there's an opportunity for him to speak. It's hard enough for him to speak with 3 people on the panel, no less a bunch of other people. Hold on, let me see here. Yeah, my boy Blue in Vegas, man. My boy Blue in Vegas.
Oh,
right
Blue's here. All right.
Yeah.
Blue, man. Blue.
He told me
What's
that
up,
Turkey,
Blue?
he says Turkey watch me and him do the show, and he loves the show, and he's like, we can't stop. I don't know, bro. I don't know what he's talking about, man. But he said Turkey Turkey shouted me out a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Love it. Love it,
man. So it is
well,
what
like
it is,
I said, man. Just keep staying to the truth, bro. And the truth
100%.
shall set you free.
No doubt, man. We're gonna stay thorough. Looks like they're getting ready right now. I see Turkey in the hallway. It looks like they're getting ready to bring Canelo in the building. Potentially, they got the camera back out there now. You know the place is gonna go crazy. You got the mariachi band on the stage. You know Canelo's coming to shut it down as he should. He is the man of the hour. He is who everybody came to see. This is Mexican. No, is it not Mexican Independence? Is this Independence Weekend? Yeah, Mexican Independence Weekend.
Yes.
For the Mexicans in the city. They look forward to this every single year for a Canelo Alvarez fight to pop up around this time. So they're in there as my mother would say, or as the old Haitian would say, they're in their bowl of grease, right? They're in their bowl of grease. This is their city. The city for this weekend. This is Mexico City. Big fight. Can't wait to see how Canelo Alvarez comes in there. He's going to drive them crazy. It is what it is. Oh, yeah, JR. God, inshallah, bro. God willing, man, that is exactly what will end up happening. We will interview Turkey one day. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? Amazing, man. Yeah, this fight is everything. It's everything. It's building up to everything we thought it could be, man. I'm excited to see what Dana White is getting ready to announce as well. He's talking about announcing something for this weekend. I don't know if it's going to be during a presser. Probably that's probably when it's going to be. You stated earlier that you thought it might be. I think Ray's gone, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna pull it down for a second. Maybe he'll come back up. I think he's.
He's gone?
Yeah, I think he's either gone or he's getting ready because I know he has to go to work and it's 10 o'clock at night. So he's getting ready to go to work. Worst case scenario. I'm actually gonna put the link out there as well and let some guys come up. Hold on a second here. I'm not gonna pack out the panel, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna probably bring up 1, 2 max. I don't need like 7 people up here talking over each other. I don't feel like managing that at this time of the night. I feel like chilling. Call it me being lazy. It's probably exactly what it is. So, and I have no problem with owning that and chilling in my laziness. You heard? I have no problem owning that. But there's a link. I think I put the link. Oh, I didn't put it up yet. My bad. There it is. My bad. There's a link, guys. Max Kellerman sitting there talking to the crowd, waiting on the great Canelo come in. And look, Canelo being the big A side, being the big A side, he's going to come in fashionably late. He's going to make them wait on him, right? He's going to make them wait on him. They ain't going nowhere without King Nello, you know what I'm saying, coming into the building. So you guys will be okay. Hold up, man. Hold on, man. Let me get my brim fitted the way I want it. Let me make sure it's sitting right. You know what I'm saying? Then my wife kissed me on the cheek. You know what I'm saying? Sign a couple of autographs, kiss a couple of babies. You know how we got to do it.
Make sure you sign the diapers too, by the way.
Yeah, we signing these diapers. You know what I'm saying? We doing everything we supposed to do, man. This is not our first rodeo. This is what we do. We've been doing this for
there
years.
You go, look, lady right there in the back. Look at her with the bag trying to get the cleavage sign. Look at her. With the baby. Ice cream and everything.
Canelo better be careful, man. He blow a kiss on one of these ladies, they might pop up pregnant and try to get his ass in court. Be careful, Canelo. Be careful. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It is what it is. It is what it is, man. It is what I'm gonna hit the mute button right quick just to hear what my guy Max is.
Oh, you can't hear it through your mic. As long as it's not directed at the mic, you can't hear it.
Yeah, you can just turn it up, dude. We won't be able to hear it.
I'm listening to mine. You can't hear it.
You don't hear it?
A little bit too high now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Right there is good. You can't hear anything. We good.
Man, the age factor, I think, is going to play. I mean, if Canelo tries to jump into this athletic bag, if he's going to jump into this bag and he's going to be moving around, how long is he going to be able to maintain that? Listen, man, it is what it is. Shout out to my guy, Ross Cott in the building. Ross, what's good, man?
Ross, why you got a picture of Clay on your screen, though, bro? I'm sorry, man. Listen, man.
Salute, y'all.
I have to get you on that one, man. Get Clay off your avatar, bro.
With the beard, huh? Salute.
All
Salute,
right,
Ross.
right.
How you feeling, baby?
Oh, none just coming over a cold. Can't wait for this fight.
Oh, man.
No doubt, man. I know. I think you're leaning towards Canelo on this one, or how you feeling about this, Ross?
Yeah, I can give my prediction if you want, real quick.
Yeah. Go ahead,
Won't take
man.
that long. I think Canelo was going to pull it off. The problem for me is the only way that Crawford could beat him is basically, pot shot move, a fight kind of fight like Skull, but be a little bit more active, and I think he could win. But I just think the size difference, the extra weight that he's going to carry, I really think that it's gonna be too much for him, because based on his last performance, which was almost a year ago, it looked like 154 was the issue for him. More so added on to the opponent. And I think that Canelo is a much better fighter, much better feinter, and much stronger fighter than Madrimov. And so I think that Canelo was probably going to win by decision. Now, I will say this. If Crawford runs and fights like Skull, because of the reception that Skull got received, apparently a lot of fans were okay with him running. Some fans even have Skull winning. I think a lot of that is going to play into this fight if Crawford decides to fight like the Skull/Laura type fight. I really believe that even if he loses, there's going to be those questions like, I think he won. Yeah, he won just because he went 12. But I got Canelo winning.
No doubt.
Also, Crawford, for an undisputed champion in 2 weight classes, he gets hit a little bit too much for me. And that's what I'm afraid of the most for him.
Interesting. I like it, man. The only thing I'll say is, I like everything as you said, but I do think that the Madrimov fight to me wasn't about the weight class affecting Terrence, because I don't feel like Madrimov used his weight in that fight. I don't feel like he was stronger than Terrence. I don't feel like Terrence had a hard time dealing with the power that Madrimov was given. I don't think he had those issues. I think he prepared for somebody to take advantage of their weight against him, and he met a fighter who actually boxed and moved around and jumped around and was being jerky, and I think that threw him off.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't feel
like the strength in the 154 weight class was showcased in that particular fight.
100% agree. 100% agree with that. I just feel like when I hear some people talking, I've heard guys say that they think Crawford could beat Caleb Plant and he could beat Berlanga and he could outbox Munguia, and I'm like, damn, he didn't even get past the guys at 154, and now he could skip 60 and beat the guys at 68. I think it's a little crazy, but like I said, if he beats Canelo, hey man, shout out to him. To me, he's already an ATG. To me, he's already up there in the top 50 greatest of all time. So to me, he doesn't really have to beat Canelo. This is just put the nail in the coffin. And I think both of them are where they're at in terms of ATG. But I think, it's certain fights that I wish I would rather see these guys fight. But this is what we getting. So I hope it's an entertaining fight and not like Skull. Put it that way. I don't want it to be like Skull.
I don't think it will be at all. I think Terrence is gonna fight, bro.
Yeah, and that's why I'm picking him to lose.
Right. I got you. I understand.
Yeah.
No, I can't knock it, bro. He's not to prove himself. I just think he will prove himself. Canelo making his way to the big stage, taking his time. He stood there for like 15 minutes. He's walking up there with Turkey. Turkey's walking with him. Turkey has a way of doing these things, right? Like everybody thinks that Turkey's with Terrence, right? That he wants Terrence to win, but then he shows up to the Grand Rivals and he's escorting Canelo to the stage, right?
Hey, let me tell you something right now. Turkey's with boxing, bro. That's what he's with. He's with boxing. He's gonna rock with whoever is making boxing great.
Exactly.
And which is why when he made the Tom and Jerry comment, if you think about it, what did it do for Shakur? Right. He was like, Tom and Jerry, you about to see Jerry whoop Tom's ass. And what happened?
They say nobody's bigger than the program, bro. Nobody's bigger than the program, bro. And I think it's just funny to me, you know what I mean? Because at one point people will always, you know, we saw when Turkey was, you know, gave Terrence the positive words like, you got to win this one and no retiring. Make sure you do the job. Everybody's, oh, the fix is in. Did you see it? Turkey went and told her the fix is in. He's gonna make Terrence win the fight. You see? And now he's walking Canelo up to the
not to mention that's what Victor got involved too. We don't know how that happened.
Listen, bro, it's so funny to watch it play the way that watch it play out in real time. I see you in the back, Shelton. I'm just waiting. Roscoe, you about done or you just?
Oh yeah, I could jump off, man. Salute y'all. Salute everybody.
Hey, thanks, Roscoe. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you.
All right,
good,
brother.
all good, y'all.
Oh, now he left. Right when I was gonna pull him off.
He always do that. He's gonna be like, oh, I dropped the call at the wrong time. My phone rang.
Every time. I'm over here trying to make space for him. Hold on. Like Canelo's getting spoken to on Max. Is Canelo acknowledging this is the biggest fight?
Viva México, Carole. Mexico, Carole.
Yo,
can't even say my
Canelo acknowledging right now that this fight is mega. You know what I mean? It's huge. It's Riyadh season. It's Netflix.
Listen.
It's the 2 pound for pound, two of the best pound for pound fighters in the world. He's speaking to the magnitude of the fight right now. Max is letting him know and reminding him this is huge.
By the time we get to fight night, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna get to 70,000. Yep. So if any of you are in Vegas and you need 2 tickets on the floor, give your man a call. Race Boxing on Instagram.
You got him for real. You got 2 of them, man.
You do. You offer me.
I got 2 of them, and you won't be overpaying. You'll basically be paying what it's worth, but without having to pay no Ticketmaster fees.
There you go.
Canelo looking clean, though. I ain't gonna lie. That white suit is official, bro. He got me envious, bro. I need one just like it. That boy killing it right now.
Listen. Leave Scarface alone, all right? Listen.
Hey, bro, that man is killing it with that suit, bro. That man is in real form.
Does he not look slim and trim?
Yes, sir, he does.
Yeah, definitely yes,
looks right. I said it.
Period. That's what it comes down to.
I said, yo, he coming in this fight smaller than what we expected. Like, I thought he was gonna come in bigger.
I like it, Ray. I like it.
I noticed it. Something.
They're giving him the respect he deserves, man. They're giving him the respect he deserves without a doubt. They're celebrating him. He's signing autographs. He's getting awards. This is his weekend, man. This is a big weekend. This is Mexican Independence Weekend. Right. Canelo Alvarez has sold over and over and over again and proven over and over again why he is the megastar. And it's not a hype job. This is the real deal, and we got to give him his respect, man. This fight is huge on all kinds of levels because of how real he is, man. Salute Shelton Moore in the building. Shelton, how you doing, man?
Shelton?
Fellas, what's the word?
Doing good. You getting ready for your road trip?
My man, the word's the bird.
Man, bad news.
What happened?
Some money I was counting on didn't come through. I had to sell the ticket.
Diabolical, man.
But
I'm so
I didn't get the $590 back, but I got $490, so I'm good.
Yeah, Yeah, no, the 490 is cool, Shelton. The 490 is cool.
Yeah, because
I'm sorry you can't come,
Ticketmaster
though,
got
bro.
to take their money out. Yeah,
So
it just didn't work out,
So let me flip it on you
But
now,
it's
Shelton.
okay.
Let me flip it. Let me flip it on you. So originally, because of my transplant status, and Ray
Yeah.
and Clay know what I'm about to go through next week with some stuff
Okay.
going on with my body. I was like, my wife was telling me, she's like, babe, this is an event of the century.
Eddie Reynoso just said this is the best Canelo we've seen in 20 years.
I love that.
Listen,
I love
Ain't
that.
gonna help him. Go ahead,
It ain't gonna
Angelo.
help
It ain't gonna help him. bro. It ain't gonna help
It
him.
ain't gonna help him.
I don't know if it's going to help
Ain't
him
gonna
or
help
it's
him.
not going to help him, but it shows how seriously he's taking his camp. But it also shows that he's jumping into his bag, man. This is an opportunity that he's not sleeping on. Hold on.
Go ahead. What's he saying?
Yeah, and I was saying, Sheldon. So my wife was telling me, it's like, this is the type of event that you don't know what's getting. And Sheldon, you're older than me, man, and you don't know what's going to happen to you moving forward in life, right? But these are one of the.
Canelo just gave respect to Turkey Alex. Turkey speaking right now. Hold on. So Canelo's basically thanking Turkey Al-Sheikh, saying he appreciates him making this fight here in America, understanding the magnitude of this fight in America and why it's so important for it to happen over here. Turkey doing what he's supposed to do, giving the respect to the Crown Prince, saying it's not him, it's the Crown Prince that provided this. He's giving the respect where it's supposed to be at. But huge, man, huge. And Canelo's right, man. People taking shots at Turkey Al-Sheikh, saying that they're taking away the sport from America. Here he is once again in America, in Las Vegas, filling up Allegiant, giving them the biggest fight. It's up to us to show up and show that this is where the fights are supposed to be, that boxing is alive in America. Support it, watch it, dial in. You see the crowd is showing out in Vegas. I think we're going to see a lot more of these kind of events in the future.
But Clay, you got to understand also, that's a small segment of content creators that's saying that. That's not the general public, bro.
Yeah,
I don't care about the content creators. I'm talking about boxing fans, right? I'm saying support. Forget the content creators. Like I told you, those guys, nobody's listening to those guys. I'm talking about the fans, boxing fans, the casual fans. Show up, watch it on Netflix. If you're in the city, get in the building. But they're doing it, right? And I'm loving it.
Yeah, the real fans are gonna. This is gonna be supposedly the third largest gate in history. So what these people are talking about online doesn't matter. The numbers speak for themselves. But go ahead, Angelo. What's going on with you now?
No, thank you. Clay, you gonna let me talk now? You gonna let me go ahead and talk about me?
You've been talking all night, motherfucker.
You've been talking all night. Hey, Sheldon, I've been making some good points, though. I've been making some good points.
Wait. Hold on. No, let Ray go for a second for real, because I know he's getting ready to leave.
Yeah, go ahead, Ray.
What I was going to say was, everything y'all just said is absolutely true. Listen, you're not going to get nothing from this but magic, right? When this fight comes along, this fight's going to be everything it's supposed to be and more. We watch people try to down this fight, saying it wasn't announced yet, to the point where, Turkey's trying to steal the fight. Oh, he can't move a football game, and all these things put in place to say that this was not going to happen, to put it down. Now they criticize him for all the things that they said he couldn't do, and now they you know what I mean? I love the fact that it has turned to this, and look at the reception that this fight got. Look at the energy that this fight got. Look at all the eyes, including the eyes of the haters, watching this fight. And the reason why it happens is because this is the best of the best fighting. We've been asking for the best to fight the best. Okay, pound for pound. That's what we're getting right now. Terrence is attempting to be great for pound. Then we have Canelo, who is an amazing fighter. It actually is the face of boxing. We see that right now. Guy comes out in all white, donned out. Better than riding on a horse in all white. I can tell you that right now, because that dude looks smooth right there, bro. You know what I mean? Right.
Hey, I'll catch it later. I'm not at home. I'll catch it, Ray. I'm not at home right now.
You know what I mean?
I'll catch it later.
Man, I need to go get me a Gucci suit. But anyway, You got that going on, and you got the villain, Terrence Crawford, the black man in all black, coming out in all black. Did y'all notice that? Black jeans, looked like a biker when he got up there. You know what I mean? The jacket on, got all the little designs in the jeans, the boots. Oh yeah, so they looking at that too, right? So at the end of the day, this is good guy versus bad guy as we look at it. It depends on what side of the fence you're on. But at the end of the day, we're going to see what happens in this event. We're going to see what is promised for the boxing fans. We're seeing history be made. We're going to see everybody that criticized and disrespected our sport, regardless if it be for Turki Al-Sheikh, trying to make great fights and putting them together, disrespecting the people that support boxing and put boxing first, instead of being fanboys of promotional companies and one specific fighter. I'm going to say one specific, and then the get along gang that roll with them. This is going to change the whole scene of boxing, and this is going to make everybody. This has made everybody look bad, right? This has made everybody look bad. Not to mention that that favorite fighter dissed that promotional company and made a fight with a YouTuber, right? So this is really looking bad. So I'm hoping this fight changes everything we need in boxing. And as far as what the Cardena said, man, Bumba Clod, man, get out of here with that. But anyway, let's move forward. You know what I mean? So I just want to say, man, it's crazy. I can't wait for this fight. And like I said, I still got it close to 50-50, man. But I'm going to give my money on Bud. My money's on Bud.
Yeah, that's right, baby. Let that dream become a reality. Let that dream become a reality. And Ray, before you leave, because you're about to leave for work, right? Before you leave, let me just add this to your point. I think that that Turki in the content creator space that Shelton's talking about, Turki doesn't get enough credit for the fact that he did try to come to America last year in LA. He even gave America Eminem. He gave it the same exact show he was given at Wembley, and he did not get the reception he expected. He did not get all the shows clamoring to give him interviews. He didn't get it. So he pivoted back. He took a step back and he said to himself, how can I make it so that America will pay attention? And just like what the chat's been saying, this right now is not even a fight, guys. This is the grand arrival. And WWE is sharing it. UFC is sharing it. Ring Magazine is sharing it. Netflix is sharing it. It is literally everywhere. You cannot say right now on September 9th of 2025 that boxing is not accessible to every person in the world, but especially in the United States. And that's what we had to deal with, Ray, for 10 years with the other promotional company. But now it is accessible and free. Accessible and free.
That was the whole point of bringing in Dana White, because Dana White is tapped into the 19 to 35 demographic.
Right.
That was the whole point of bringing him in.
Let me ask you a question real quick. When you went to the UNLV game, were they advertising the fight during
yes, they were.
They were. That's exactly my point. That's exactly
everybody
my point.
There.
So imagine every Raiders game that they're doing that at, right?
They're doing it in regular NFL. The YouTube even did a commercial when I was watching YouTube for Chiefs versus Chargers in Brazil. They did a commercial for Canelo Crawford, bro.
Think about this. Think about this, Ray. Here's one for you. I had to go to the VA today. I had an appointment at the VA. I'm driving down the 405 freeway. I get to the Fox Hills Mall. Guess what I see?
Billboard.
I see a big ass billboard, Crawford versus Canelo.
There you go. Guess what our boy was mad at that he didn't get when he was in Vegas fighting Frank Martin. So he went on a run. Guess what he was mad at? Why ain't they promoting the fight?
Come on, man.
Started running down the street. They caught him running. Not hey, here's what it is, man. Listen.
So
shows you what happened.
So here you go, Sheldon. As we're watching this grand event.
One second. I just want to respond to this so I can pull up the screen. Texas 3346 says, "Say Clay, you might think I'm crazy, but Eddie Reynoso looks nervous to me. For real. Listen, man. I think you can call it nerves, or you can just call it the magnitude of the fight is really like that. like I've been saying, and like we've all been saying, they're taking this fight very seriously. You see how Canelo looks? That's called being prepared. That is called we understand what's in front of us. Terrence Crawford is a legitimate threat, and they should be nervous. They shouldn't feel like this is.
Now, what was the big advantage Canelo was supposed to have, Clay?
Sheldon, hold on. So when you look in the comment section of this fight, of this grand arrival, and you're looking in it, what you're seeing is a lot of Canelo fans in there saying this is going to be easy for Canelo, easy work, cherry pick. This guy's way too small. And I argue back, Canelo doesn't feel that way. Eddie Reynoso doesn't feel that way. The fighters and the people who are involved in this fight understand the magnitude of this, and fans are going to be fans. They're going to support their fighters, but make no mistake, both these guys understand what's on the line here. And Canelo, the guy who's supposedly got the advantage, the guy who's acclimated to the division, the bigger guy, the bigger puncher, every narrative that's been pushed out there to make this fight does not even make sense for somebody like Terrence Crawford to come up multiple weight classes, isn't treating this fight like a fight that is just a lay down easy fight for him to make. He's treating it like he should be treating. He's giving a lot of respect to Terrence Crawford, a lot.
Go ahead, Shelton. Go ahead.
What was Canelo's biggest supposed advantage?
Well, it was going to be the strength and the size.
Didn't you just tell me that Canelo came in smaller? Didn't you just say he came in small? He slimmed down.
Oh yeah, yep.
So that's the size goes out the window.
I told you it comes down to strength. Did I not say that?
Yeah, it's going to come down to strength. But people thought that. Yeah, you're 100% right. It's going to be the strength. People thought in the narrative that's being pushed, and even in the comment section, if you look at it, like I'm watching it on the Zone, if you look at the comment section in the live, everybody's like, yo, Terrence is too small for this guy, this and this and that. But their eyes are deceiving them, or they're being delusional. This is not the case.
Yeah, because how do we know that Alvarez is stronger than Crawford? How do we know that? We don't. We won't know until fight night.
Exactly.
I think people are really going to get a reality check. Maybe we are. I don't know, but I just feel like Canelo was able to take, and I don't want to dismiss what he did at 160. I promise you I don't. But a lot of those fights, those guys were just not on his level, bro. And if anything, the way he treated that division shows you how realistic it is for Terrence Crawford to come up there and do what he's about to do. That's what happened at 168 for me. That Canelo really showed that there's levels to the game.
I was about to drop off, but he did for me.
What happened, Shelton? Come back.
That connection. He's gonna come right back. He's gonna come right back.
Oh, man,
yo, Too Rich, you want to come up? Let me put the link out for Too Rich.
Yeah, Too Rich. Let Too Rich come on. He can replace me on the panel because Too Rich gonna drop some knowledge, and I'm gonna be
Too Rich is definitely.
Blaze says he wants to come up too.
Who?
Oh, Blaze.
Yeah,
Blaze always like Blaze.
Okay.
Blaze one of them. All right. I'll catch y'all later, man. I'll see you.
Hey, thanks, Ray.
Yo,
hey,
have a good night,
Ray,
man.
did you do your silent bidding already? Don't forget to bid.
Yeah, I ain't gonna tell you who I picked up or tried to.
Hey, you don't gotta worry about me, baby. I drafted well.
I know. I don't know how you. Yeah, never mind. Let's just leave it there. All right. Okay, man. All right, later.
Peace out, man. Be safe, man.
All right, you got it.
You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Listen, Angelo. A lot of people are gonna get. If I'm correct, and I got this feeling, this is gonna reshape a lot of people's idea on how to look at fighters, right? You know, a lot of people went into that Edgar Berlanga Hamza Shiraz fight just as an example of another fight to bring up, where people walked in there so confident that Edgar's got so much power and he was going to steamroll Hamza, and Hamza was coming up from 160 to 168, and you know, he looked so bad against Carlos Adames, and they use a triangle theory, and they were shocked to see how one-sided and how dominating Hamza Shiraz was to Edgar Berlanga. And why is that? Because people don't know how to look at fighters, right? People don't know how to watch fighters and see them and match up skill set.
Well, here's the thing too, Clay, and I believe I'm the one that told you that the thing about the UK is they don't pussyfoot on their fighters when they're bringing them up. They give them challenges. They throw them in the deep end and they say, "Let me see you swim." Right? So I told you that Hamza Shiraz was fighting Ammo Williams. He was fighting real opponents that tested his skill set where he had to dig deep, like Carlos Adames. The only thing that changed for Hamzat Shiraz is he didn't have to cut as much weight when he went up to fight Berlanga. But he'd been fighting killers. He'd been fighting the Tyler Denny's. Berlanga, on the other hand, who'd he fight on that fight right before Shiraz? You know what I'm saying? Right? And this is no discredit to Berlanga's skill set. This is more us talking about the reality that if you're in the U.S. and you're being brought up a certain way, you as the fighter need to be more telling your manager or your coaches, hey, man, test me. Because if I'm trying to be a world champion, I need to know what I got, right? And that's how it is in the UK. In the UK, a loss isn't looked upon as a career ender. And I think that narrative is now changing in the U.S.
Yeah. Salute, Ross. Call you back in the building. What's good, family?
Yeah, I just want to say a few things about the size. Can I say something real quick about the size?
Sure. Speak on.
Because I noticed that a lot of people, and this is more towards the haters, right? So like Crawford has been accused of being a weight bully, right? He's been accused of being a weight bully, fighting at 135, fighting at 140, and fans are saying that him and Canelo would be the same size. He's bigger than Canelo, blah, 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 blah. Weight and height isn't just the only reason that makes somebody bigger, okay? Crawford is a lot bigger than Crawford. Canelo is a lot bigger than Crawford. I don't know why people keep saying they're the same size. He got longer. Yeah, he got longer reach, and he's probably an inch, maybe even an inch and a half taller. But it all comes down to how you carry the weight. It's bone density. Canelo may have a bigger wrist, bigger hands, thicker neck, thicker, wider back. All of this plays in a factor in size in the ring. This is the reason why if Canelo was to fight, let's say, Kovalev, and he beat him, he was able to compete with Kovalev. Why? Because he could carry 175 better. Then if Crawford was to fight Kovalev, he would look like a mouse next to a dragon because of the size difference. Like I said, Canelo's walk around weight isn't 175. His walk around weight is like 190, 195, which is why we were all complaining that why does he keep saying Benavidez is so big? He's going to weigh 190, but you weigh 190. Crawford's walk around weight, it probably may be 190, 180, but is he bigger than Canelo on their walk around weight? Who carries the weight better? Who could look like they could fight right now if they both weighed at 180, 190? It would probably be Canelo because he carries the weight better. So I think we need to lose that whole Crawford is the same size as Canelo. He's gonna show you guys that he's bigger. Guys, I'm gonna tell you right now, when they rehydrate on fight night, Canelo is gonna be a lot bigger than Crawford. If you guys remember, on when Charlo had weighed in, who looked more fit at 168? It was Canelo, while Charlo stood there with a creatine looking stomach. So please, let's stop saying that Crawford and him is the same size, because they're not. Crawford is fighting a true 168 pounder. Period.
I don't agree.
Yeah, I don't agree either.
Yeah,
I don't agree. But what we love about the show is we let everybody speak their minds. All agree to disagree.
I just want to be like, I don't agree with that. I think that we're going to see that they're going to be a lot closer in size than what people think it's going to be. Canelo, I'll give the argument. I'll check one box for the argument and say that I agree that Canelo's more acclimated to the division because he's been competing there for so long. But I do believe at the end of the day, people are going to be surprised. I think people are going to be very surprised. And especially with this Canelo Alvarez I'm looking at, is Canelo Alvarez ready to jump on the scale now? Is he 168 now? What is he right now? Right. So as we're looking at him in this video, in his video right now, he's probably sitting at about like 175 right now, right? Getting ready. He's going to be on the scales on Friday. Today's Wednesday. He's probably sitting about 175, between 175. in 180, somewhere in that range. He's going to slim down. He's going to be smaller than what he looks now. And he's probably going to rehydrate on purpose. He's probably going to come into that ring no more than like 180. You know what I'm saying? Just so he can be athletic and just so he can compete. Crawford's going to walk into that and walk in there. He's going to hit that scale, probably hit that scale like 166, 167. He's going to rehydrate up to probably like 175, 180 the same way. They're going to be about the same size. Now, Canelo is the more acclimated fighter to the division. He understands how to deal with the bigger fighters. He can take the punches from the bigger fighters. He can weather the storm and fight against the bigger fighters. But this is a little bit different in my opinion. I just feel like he's going to be dealing with a fighter that's way closer to his size in a real way. And I don't know that Jermell Charlo, A, couldn't have fought better than he did against Canelo, or B, how well he made the weight. Did he take the steps that Terrence did to be in the conditioning and to be as strong as Terrence Crawford is going to be on that night to fight against Canelo Alvarez? I mean, I don't know, right?
Clay.
I think naturally it's easier to say that Canelo Alvarez is a natural 168 pounder, but I can also remember many of times people talking about how Canelo Alvarez is smaller than every single 168 pounder he normally gets in the ring with. He's never the bigger guy. He's never even equal to their size. He's always smaller. Even Caleb Plant, he was smaller than Caleb Plant. This is going to be a fight with somebody who's going to probably be closer to the same size as Canelo than people want to acknowledge. We'll see though on Saturday. We'll see.
Do you think Charlo was bigger than Crawford?
Not necessarily. No.
You don't think so?
No, I really don't believe so.
The answer is no.
Okay, I hear you.
What's good? What's good? My guy Blaze pound for pound in the building. What's good, King? What's good?
What's up,
no,
Blake?
you're muted. You're muted. I definitely don't hear you. Muted. Unmute yourself.
What's happening? Can you hear me now? Is the audio crispy?
Crispy, real crispy. How you feeling, man? I see you sitting down. You're comfortable today, so I already know we about to get this cook on. You sitting and chilling. You ain't hitting the bag. You're not walking around the garage. What's good with you, family?
Oh man, I just figured I'd show my face, man.
Yeah,
I've been keeping the same energy, this whole time leading up to this fight,
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a pleasure that I'm able to just, as a fan, I'm a fan, of Canelo and Bud though. Bud, and you're watching Bud. When you're a fan, certain fans, you caught all these fights live when they happen. Whether you was pay-per-view, whether you was there, you done watched them several times. You didn't really just watch highlights. You done went round for round. You know what your guy can do. You can tell who's responding with the casual talk and who ain't really knowing what they're talking about. And so it's just a beautiful thing because this is a real high elite fight against two individuals that apparently is coming to put their best foot forward in the ring on Saturday. And they've already solidified their legacies. It's unquestionable. Canelo has reigned at 168 super middleweight and he legitimately being undisputed. At that, he's dominated. He dropped everybody, right? You don't talk about the stoppages, but a lot of them guys ran. Skull didn't give him the opportunity to tap that chin, right? And so it's like, and Canelo's illustrious career moving up from 154, 160, and all of that. Like, let's get this man his flowers. And he's 100%. Still active, though. It's not like he's rust. He's slowing down. He didn't have to do much for Skull. I'm glad he didn't do nothing in the Skull fight because I don't want no excuses like, oh, he was hurt or he was banged up and he's been through wars this year. He didn't go through nothing. You feel me? So we got the opportunity to have not to have an excuse. And then let's go to the fight before that. Man, one of the cleanest punches I done seen is that lead left hand that he put on Berlanga on the rope in the third round and put him down. And at first I thought it was a counter, but I watched it again. Obviously, no sooner than you watch it again, you see just how he had him froze up on the ropes. He was picking his shots all fight, and he split second caught him clean.
He almost like he low-key fainted him into it a little bit. Like he was like, yeah, and then caught him, like threw him into it.
And he set it up.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, Blaze, that's exactly why from the get-go on tonight's show, when we started 2 hours ago, I said Crawford is not going to try to box backwards because that's how Canelo be getting you. You're trying to go back and use your distance. He's going to be the one coming forward.
I'm going to make a difference. Yeah. But you got to see the difference. You're not going to find Bud in the third round kind of gassed hanging out on the ropes. He's going to move his footwork. See, it ain't going to be a lot of dance. It's going to be a lot of spacing, ranging, probing. You feel me? They're gonna be catching stuff with their lead hand. They're gonna be, he's gonna be tapping that high guard. He's gonna give angles. Like,
hold on 1 second, Blaze.
Hold
your thought real quick. Ross Scott, are you gonna build on this one, or are you chilling? You going? I got somebody in the back. How you feeling?
They can jump on. Salute.
All right, no doubt, family. Talk to you soon. Peace. All right, go ahead, fam. Back on your thought, Blaze. Go ahead.
Yeah, what I'm saying is that this is gonna be a real technical match. Like, this is gonna be like Beterbiev and Bivol. And what was so great about those fights is that they solidified who they were as fighters, like their styles. And they came in the ring and fought their styles. And we had the first fight, which Beterbiev pulled out close, and then we had the second fight in which Bivol made the adjustments. But it's going to be a chess match like that. These wacky fans talking about these wild KOs. And mind you, I got Bud. I believe if he catches them, like he catches everybody else with them counters, and he hurts Canelo, he can stop him like anybody else. But, you smart money and analysis into this fight goes into this is going the distance. Because neither one of them has been knocked out. So when we're talking about great and them IQ and them making the adjustments and them really putting their best foot forward trying to fight, I think it's going the distance, but it can go KO both ways because of what's on the line. Because if either one of them find themselves behind on the line, they're going to dig deep and they're going to put it on the table. There's too much at stake. See, the thing is with casual fans is they don't respect Undisputed. They don't respect these titles. They don't respect Ring Magazine titles. Canelo Alvarez is two division Ring Magazine champion. Bud's three division ring champion. That's when they do the consensus on who's the best, and we talk about who's the lineal champion in these particular divisions. And then Bud is undefeated. Canelo's been reigning and doing his thing. These guys ain't just here for no payday. In fact, they got that money and they invested it all in them going into the lab, being very scientific with how they're approaching this fight. That's the thing that gets missed with this is at the end of the day, hopefully when it comes out in the ring, is we're going to show this is the level of professionalism. See, I'm 39 years old now. I'm not the young kid no more. I still feel kind of young, but I'm not the young kid. I wear these grays all the time just to know where I've grown through the fire, right?
You earned them. You should show them.
We earned them. I got abs up here too. I've been training too. I swear to God. Let me tell it. I'm training for a Masters amateur bout in March in Vegas. I'm about to sign up. I'm trying to get down to like 185. I'm like 190 right now. I'm 5'11. Southpaw. Listen, but that being said, these guys is like the quintessential athletes. Like I said, I bring up LeBron, I bring up Tom Brady, I bring up individuals who but you bring up Kobe when they get at this point of their career, their whole life is boxing. Like when they come into this bout, their whole life is train and preparation. That's why you seen Canelo go and get boots. That's why you seen Canelo have in the Netflix series the Olympic, high prospect Cuban fighter that was southpaw. Like, listen, man, they're really training for a chess match. We caught up like I said, I get caught up as a fan too, and be like, listen, Bud's gonna pick them apart. Bud's gonna catch him with that 2-1 behind the ear like spit. Bud's gonna do this and do that. But these guys are coming to play chess in this fight. And that's what's so beautiful about it, in the level of professionalism from both of them. There's no shenanigans because they don't even come from that era. You feel me? They don't even come from that era. And then what we have too that's kind of doesn't make this fight like sexy or sales pop culture is that English is Canelo's second language, and he don't like playing those games. He don't like the going back and forth. And I respect him for that because it's bogus. This is like he's a professional.
Terrence don't like it either.
And Terrence don't like it either. But what I'm telling you, when there's somebody that's English on the other side like Spence, you see it get hot, you see it get tense. Right. Bud's gonna stand on what he stand on. That's what sells the fight to us, English-speaking American fans. So that's what throws this off. And you see how everybody's trying to put the comparisons around this fight where everything's showing up because men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. If I'm not mistaken, they're talking about 70,000 gonna be here. If I'm not mistaken, there's a $50 million gate. And then, like as the brother said up here, that's in Vegas, this is international. We're in America. We think it's just an American event. This is an international event. This motherfucker's big. You feel me? As big as it's supposed to be. You did what I'm saying? And so I'm blessed to be resourced coming from where I came from Seattle, coming from the inner city kid, you feel me, trying to figure it out. Now being a proud husband, father of 5, you feel me, professional, serve my community, right? But come out and be in shape and compete in this world. I get to see my peers, man, fight at the highest level. you know, this is since what Mayweather Pacquiao, you know, and I was locked up for that. You feel me? I was locked up for that. I might have been there if I was out, but I'm here to be able just to experience it as a fan and know that whatever happens, if Bud does this, it's crazy. 3-division undisputed champion across 5 weight divisions. You can't define pound for pound more than that, homie. You can't define pound for pound champion all time. You can't. He's going to be in the race for that. We're not going to even put him in the. He's got something that they can't say, and no other man or woman might ever do. Become undefeated, undisputed, 3 divisions across 5 weight classes. Come on, man. We're not going to diminish that. Now let's get back to Canelo. If Canelo wins, Canelo beats and redeems himself for all the criticism that he gets. He has trouble with slick boxers. Mayweather washed him. It's debatable with Lara. Bivol was bigger than him and worked him. If he's able to get Bud out of here, like he's going to get all the credit that he's going to get. And he's going to go down where he's top 5 Mexican fighter ever, but then he might be in the argument because that we're not taking nothing away from Canelo if he beats this man who those of us are fans is like, hey, bro, this is the Matrix, bro. He switched both ways, bro. He's been a weight bully just stopping everybody for, like he said, for the last 10 years. You see what I'm saying? So it's like he's going to get his credit. And then the beautiful thing about it is, listen, man, if this shit go a draw or something and this shit is real competitive, these guys is going to be game for the rematch. And this is when we start talking about historic matchups and bouts. You feel me?
And the triangle theory becomes crazy because we're going to be talking about the last fight. What did they have to improve in last? We're going to be talking about the 12 rounds they shared with each other. And how that's going to go into the next. Oh yeah, bro. Just
and then in the history, I just want to end with that. The history of that's where makes people great. It's those rematches where those fighters banged it out with each other. You feel me? This is one of these ones. But no matter what, I'm gonna land right here. But no matter what, whoever wins or loses, if they continue to compete, it raises boxing for everything because Benavidez pops up in the picture for whoever. Sharif pops up in the picture for whoever. Yeah, you laugh. I know it seems absurd. This fight was laughed about too. You see what I'm saying? Because when the money goes 150, 200 million, motherfuckers is gonna get up in there. Motherfuckers might be on a suicide mission for that type of loot, right? But we about to get them guys still compete. And if Bud go down to 160, Bud go back down to 154. Like, look, bro, this is good for boxing. I'm just happy to be here. I'm glad I'm gonna be there. I drop down on Thursday. Hey man, I want to get some connects with y'all, and then I just want to give one shout out real quick. I know I'm long. I gotta get a
Blaze, don't leave yet though. Don't leave.
Yeah. I got one more shout out. The creator, the content creator lead for Undisputed, man. These guys been underground on YouTube. I'm talking about 1,000 subscribers here. Some people got 10,000 subscribers. Proxys had like 100,000. iGames watch a couple of them, but some real hitters that really been playing this game since it dropped on console and even previously are gonna be at the HyperX Arena on September 12th at 6 p.m. and they're gonna be live in person having an undisputed tournament for a WBC belt held on by Steel City, and they got Steel City to them. This ain't big because they ain't a big event. Steel City came to them and seen what they were doing for the culture of the game and put these young men on their own merit, man. And I'll be going for Box Size View if anybody know. If you know, you know. But check that out because that's at the Luxor on Friday.
No doubt.
Hey, Blaze. So, hey, bro, love everything you said. And I was just going to compliment you in saying that, again, us who are fans, but have also understood the insider part of this entire game. Not people who are looking from the outside in, but actually having been in, right? And then now being out and being able to feel it, right? Yeah. As a fan, this is all great for boxing. Everything that we've been saying this entire 2-hour show. So thank you for saying all of that. And the way you said it was so pure, right? There's no hate on either side. This is just what's good for the sport, which we all love. And that's fantastic. I was going to ask you, I'd love to connect with you when you get here. So you said you're going to land on Thursday?
Yeah.
All right. So on the private chat, I don't know if you're cool with, let's exchange
Yeah,
info, that'd be awesome.
Yep, I'm gonna send you my number. I'm gonna drop the number in the chat right now. And listen, man, Viva la Raza, man, Viva la Mexico, man, Black and brown solidarity, man. We gonna run this fade, man, and we still gonna be good, man. And I'm in 100, and I just want to get on my political milk box real quick. And I shout out, man, I feel for all of y'all that are going through this disunification of families, where they snatching y'all up. And over here in Washington, we've been supporting cats. We've been supporting individuals who've had criminal records, seeking to get pardons from our state legislator and our governor, so they don't have to get shipped away from their families, man. So real talk, while we talking this boxing and all that, I do want to promote this Black and brown solidarity from some of the greatest fighters of our culture, man. We're gonna run the fade and we're gonna be good about it. You see how they break bread and eat? I'll break bread and eat with all, my Latino, Latinx, brown people from the community, man. Shout out, it's much love. It's all just competition, baby.
No doubt, no doubt. Salute. All right, hold on. Let me go ahead and shout out to J Pitt City with the $2. Said, don't forget Inoue and MJ this weekend too, for sure. Sunday morning. I'm trying to cover it all, man. I ain't gonna lie. That fight right there is gonna be an interesting one. It's gonna be interesting to see how Inoue deals with the smaller MJ. Who this is gonna be interesting. We'll talk about that and break that fight down as well. I'm expecting Inoue to handle his business in this fight, but I think it's gonna be a competitive fight. Shout out to BVO Sports TV in the building. How you doing, family?
Man, salute, man. How you doing, man?
Doing good, King.
Hey, man, salute to my man Blaze, salute to my man up there. I'll say this, man. I could tell Blaze is a Seattle nigga, man. You got to watch him. They talk all day. Shout out to the Central District, man. I had a lot of fun when I was trying out for the
District, man. Brian Matter, I'm from the district, man.
It's all gentrified now. They moved all the niggas out. But it was a great place.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was a great place. But I'll just say this, man. Like my man said in CB4, a great movie. I don't know if you guys ever seen it, man. It's time to get Bud's mom that black dress. I hope Canelo, man, don't spill blood, because I just love how even as consecrated we get caught up in the hype. The hype is there is no hype. The good big man beats the dog shit out the good little man every time. That's how it's been since the beginning of time. Canelo's going to go in there. He going to look bad, probably like he did with Amir Khan. Amir Khan was whooping his ass. But what did he do? He going to catch him. Same thing that Joe Louis told Muhammad. He said, hey, you might do this and that, but I'm going to catch up with you and I'm going to get your ass out of here. And that's what's going to happen. And when Bud goes to sleep, please don't turn on him. Yeah, he did a good thing, just like my man Jamal. He getting a payday. He don't really want that kind of smoke, but he getting a payday. Just thank Canelo for being gracious, for giving him that payday, because Canelo is going to kill this dude. And we all know it, and I just can't wait. I hope Canelo don't get no blood on that white suit, man, because this is almost crazy to hear people think a dude from 135 is going to be Canelo, who we haven't even seen rock since Jose. We haven't seen him rock since who's that dude's name? Jose Cotto. Jose Cotto is the last dude to rock him. The dude got an orange chin. Canelo probably got a top 5 chin of all time. And you telling me the dude with the doggone steel chin with the fat head is going to get knocked out? Stop it. Sounds good. As my grandmother would say, might even make you feel good. He's going to bed. He's going to beat him to death, man. Bud going to do a good showing. But didn't Jamel look at that fight? The first few rounds, Jamel looked pretty good. But then what happened with Canelo Hilly? He got on that. He did that Kaepernick, got on that one knee, started praying, say, hey, let me not get knocked out. Because Canelo was trying to knock Jamel's ass out. Let's see if we get that Canelo trying to knock Bud's ass out. Let's see if we get that, because that's the one thing we missing. Canelo tried to knock Jamel out and couldn't. Remember, he was standing up between rounds with that big-ass knee brace on? He was trying to knock his ass out. He just couldn't. I'm telling you, Bud talking all that shit, telling me he walking him down. He going to get beat up bad, man. He going to get beat. I just don't want you out there crying, Blaze. I could see you right now crying like Adrian, man. You can't win. I can see you now. Hey, don't be out there crying, man. Don't be out there crying, man.
Listen. We gonna accept this L if we take this L like Canelo accepted his L when he took it from Bivol, bro. This is just achieving greatness, man. It just comes with the sport, homie. Like, one thing about it is like, hey, man, I'm not in my emotions like that. Because first of all, I'm not a gambler, so I'm not betting any type of money that's gonna hurt my pockets or hurt my family's pockets. I don't really drink too much. You feel me? And so I'm gonna be okay. You feel me? With whatever the outcome
you don't
is.
drink, stop it.
No, I used to.
Okay.
I lost my mom. Listen, I lost my mom to alcoholism. You feel me?
Okay.
You know, it ain't what you do, it's how you do it, man. I pop champagne when we celebrate, man. I sip wine with my wife when I take her out for dinner and all of that. But nah, I don't got no liquor just hanging out in my house like that.
when I was in Seattle, man, in 2011, when I was trying when I was playing with the Seahawks, I seen niggas drinking 40 still. So
yeah, listen, the cats was drinking 40s, 2020, all of that. Nah, we wasn't doing all that. You know, some of us.
They got something called a 64 ounce, Clay. I don't know if you ever seen them. Big ass bazooka.
Yeah, I know.
Big paper bag. You put it in a paper bag. But listen, man, check this out. I'm a fan, but then I'm also like a athlete too of the sport, man. And it's like, listen, man, he's getting in the fire to test his greatness, man. There ain't gonna be no tears. We're gonna hold our head high, you know, regardless of what happens.
You're gonna be crying, bro. Canelo's gonna hurt him.
No, I'm not.
BBO is just trolling.
I know.
Hold on. Don't say that, Clay. Hold on. You broke my heart with that. I feel like
I'm gonna tell you.
Let me tell you something. Hold on, Clay. Let me get BBO real quick. Let me get BBO real quick.
Wait, hold on. BBO. The reason BBO is trolling is because if BBO thinks for sure that some grown man with kids and is going to sit here and be fanatic behind another man to crying tears or even in our feelings about stuff, he's either delusional or he's trolling. He knows
Nah.
Hold on. I was hurt when Deontay Wilder got beat up by Fury. I dropped a tear.
I don't know.
I was hurt.
He ain't being a troll. Listen, bro, I'm not going to cry if he loses, but I'm going to shed tears of joy if he wins, especially when he hug his mama.
And
I lost my mama in January.
You feel me?
Man, I'm sorry to hear that, man.
It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. But it's like, listen, all his belts is at his mama's house. All of them. You feel me? And then if you heard his story, how his mama raised him, paying kids to fight him when he was a kid, and not to be loved him. Like he's a cold-blooded, heartless man. You feel me? He got this chip on his shoulder for no reason. So listen, man, it's gonna be a beautiful thing. Like I said, it's gonna be a good fight. Whoever wins, like I said, I am a Canelo fan. I'm just more of a Bud fan. That's why it's a win-win situation for me because I'm not a hater. Because if Canelo,
are they gonna carry him out the ring like they did Ricky and Boys in the Hood?
Man, listen, just like y'all said, Canelo ain't never went down. Bud ain't never been carried out
the ring. They gonna carry him out the ring.
Like, it's
Bernie them gonna carry him out the ring. That's all I want to know. Is Bowman gonna put the Cheetos back down?
They gonna carry him with all them belts. They gonna lift him up and they gonna walk about the ring with all those belts like he's the king of Zamunda.
Let me take the joke out. Let me take the joke out.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I respect that you come onto the channel. I respect that you're willing to put your voice in recording. And anyone who wants to hate on you after you're wrong, you know, they could go back and see it, right? But I'll say this. Again, you heard the show. You've heard what our theories are. We've argued for Canelo. We've argued for Crawford. At the end of the day, we are 4 days away, brother. And the three of us feel a certain way. I know I do, because if you listen to the first hour, I done told you Canelo fans, you about to get knocked the F out. Hagler, Hearns, Style. You heard me, Blaze, when I say that. I ain't flinching. I ain't flinching, BBO. I ain't flinching. That's right. I'm saying it with my chest. So let me tell you something, man. Now, I get it. Canelo's not going to drop to the floor like Hearns. I don't think that's what's going to happen. I do see the referee going, nah, you ain't got no more, man. Your legs are holding you up, but your brain shook. So we got to stop this. And then we're going to see Crawford jump up in the corner, raise his arms. America is going to be on top. The whole world's going to love it. And then you're going to hear Crawford go, you know, as much as I want to stay, there ain't nothing left for me to prove. There ain't no fighter in the world that's ever been 3 times undisputed in the 4-belt era. 300 global subscribers. 300 million global subscribers got to watch this. It's going to be watched on replay. And for people like Blaze and younger, this is going to be their Hagler Hearns moment for this generation. This is the type of fight that's going to be talked about for decades. And I applaud boxing, and I applaud Turkey, and I applaud everybody involved. Claymore, everybody that's been talking this fight up. I applaud you guys. I applaud everybody because it's so easy, BVO, to turn shit down. Anyone could be negative. Everyone could be negative.
For sure.
But when you could find the positive light in everything, brother, that's what makes the world go around. So I'm rocking with Crawford.
Listen,
you know what? I'll say this because one thing I want to salute you, man. People don't realize this, but all men are brothers. We all brothers. Right. And the thing that you got to keep in mind is that when Canelo get in there and smash Bud, I hope he call out that Mexican pussycat and smash that dude too. Now, Clay, can you imagine how it would be when we stop Crawford and then the Mexican monster hop in there? That would be beautiful. You know David's going to be there front row. Canelo sent him a ticket, just so you guys know.
That's wishful thinking if you want to redeem yourself for the so-called Canelo Duncan.
You got to redeem yourself for him.
Bud has a height advantage, and he has a 6-inch reach advantage. You feel me? And Bivol had a 4-inch reach advantage. And did y'all see the 20-second video that Bud put on his channel? Support his channel, man. Bud got his own channel, man.
How you falling for this? How many guys has Canelo bought up and beat to death? This is what he does,
brother.
Different, man. This ain't
Bud
Bud.
Is different. And Dimitri Bivol. That's why your fake the Usyk and the Dimitri Bivels, they speak very boldly and they let you know. I appreciate all the respect you've given us, but Terence Bud Crawford is a pound for pound best fighter in the world because these guys from Eastern Europe, they understand the sweet science better than most American boxers do or most American boxing fans do, right? They understand what they're seeing when they see Terence Bud Crawford, and this is the stage that Terence Crawford needs to be on, because outside of doing what he's about to do on Saturday, people will always try to dismiss what he does because he makes these fighters that you guys think are all that look whack. He makes them look slow. He makes it look like they shouldn't be in the ring with him. And instead, what do they say? Oh, he's cherry picking. Well, okay. Well, now, like he said, you're going to be another one, Canelo Alvarez. You're going to be another guy cherry pick. You're going to be another bum. What are you going to be when I put a stomp a mud hole in your ass? This is the fight he needs. This is the stage he needs to be on because of the caliber of fighter he is. Nobody around his weight class is going to give him the fight that's going to satisfy the fans for him to prove his point about who he is. He has to get up and beat your favorite fighter. He has to beat the pound for pound face of boxing and Canelo Alvarez. That's the only way you guys are going to give him the respect. But after this please
give him his credit when he wins.
They're going to blame it on Snap.
He will get his credit.
They're going to blame it on Snap, man.
But you make sure you're here Sunday morning. You make sure you're here, and you make sure you figure it out. I'll give you the night to write your speech, and because I know you savvy with the words. You talk about the stretch and all that. I want the same energy Sunday morning, and I want you to fall back and be like, "God damn it,
Clay, I'll say this though. I'm shocked at you, Clay. You would go against our brother Canelo. You breaking code right now. Ain't that what they call it? Breaking code. Canelo's our brother.
I'm
Clay.
Breaking code.
Hey, Clay,
you breaking code like they say, man. You know Canelo's our brother.
I made sure that my hotel reservations was till Monday, so I can.
Good man.
On Saturday, I can just chill. We ain't rushing out no hotel room.
There you go.
Spa. You feel me?
There you go.
And yeah, I'll be finding you in the morning because we gonna be here, win, lose, or draw. And I promise you, don't the same high energy because I'm gonna say, hey man, we just witnessed history being made one way or another.
Right.
Like that's what's so.
I'm gonna have my sombrero on too. Hey Clay, I'm gonna be on camera with my sombrero on camera.
Exactly. I was gonna say that. You make sure you're on camera Sunday morning. You make sure you're on camera.
Hey, BBL, we want to make
you up here if I see that little logo. If I see that damn little logo, you ain't even getting up here, bro. You're going to stay right there in the chat, bro. You ain't even allowed up here without that camera on you. So get it nice and ready. I need that 4K, you heard?
I can't believe y'all think Canelo going to lose to this guy. Y'all crazy, man.
Not only do we think it, we know Canelo's going to lose, bro. We know it.
Hold on. What did my man say on Bad Boys 2, man? Y'all must have had a couple of grape sodas or something. I don't know, man. This dude about to hurt Crawford,
bro. Hold on, let me bring up. I'm gonna bring up Band Up right quick so he can spit. Band Up. I'm going against Coke because I wasn't gonna do 5 people up here. I wanted to keep it 4, but the conversation is good, and I know ain't nobody trying to go nowhere. So Band Up, what's good, family? Another Seattle native right here, bro. Band Up, right from Seattle. Oh, you know Band Up?
You already know. You already know South Seattle tapped in. Yeah.
Band Up, where you from, Band Up?
I'm from South Seattle, born and raised.
Okay, for sure. Central District.
Let me watch my wallet, then.
You know what I mean? Shout out to my Huskies. I don't know if you guys paid attention, but we just put a 60-point ass with UC Davis. You know what I mean? Smacked him up. Your boy Band Up was there live in, live in effect, saw the whole game.
Come on, talk to me.
Go Dogs, baby.
Yeah. Thank you, Clay, for the first time. You know what I mean? Band up, hopping up on your platform. You know what I mean?
I'm
always
used to you being over there in blue and all that. I never had you up here before, though.
Oh yeah, man. You know, it's still love, man. It's still love both ways, man. I followed you and I respected you over there, man. I followed you and I respected you over here, man. I've been since you first started your platform. I promise you, I was probably one of the first 100.
Thank you, family. I appreciate that, man. Thank you, man.
Yeah, you know, Ben. I'll be paying attention, and you know what I mean. You real in depth of, you know what I mean, the people that you follow, and you are really smart, like I said. And me and you are similar in a way because I started with UFC as well, bro. I started watching UFC before boxing as well. And then when you said that, I was like, okay, now I see why me and Clay think alike in some of these, you know what I mean, some of the aspects. Yeah,
right. But, I think being a UFC fan, just not to segue out of it, but I do think that being a mixed martial arts fan, you're probably a more technical fan of combat sports because mixed martial arts is super technical. Like, it can be very boring very quickly. Once these guys get on the ground, it can become very boring if you're not understanding what you're looking at. You know what I'm saying? And I think that translates into the boxing matches. It makes it to where when I see Shakur Stevenson fight, I'm super entertained, right? When I see Terrence or when I see even Devin or a lot of fighters that boxing fans claim are boring or pillow-fisted, don't like to watch him fight, I'm very entertained by those fights because I can get into the technical aspect of the sport. Yeah. And of course, I could be entertained with the explosive punchers, the Gervonta Tank Davises, the Canelo Alvarezes, the Virgil Ortizes, right? The David Benavidezes. You can get into those guys clearly, easily, but also I can appreciate a David Benavidez versus David Morrell and see the technical aspect of how he was approaching that fight. Even when he fought against Bosniak, when you were like, yo, this dude is being super technical with a fighter who ain't trying to go nowhere, who's not about to get knocked out. And you're gonna have to win that fight, and you can appreciate that aspect.
You're correct. You are super correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and by the way, for the MMA,
that David Benavidez and David Morrell fight is one of my favorite fights. I promise you.
Yeah, that was a good fight.
That was a good fight.
They robbed my man Morrell on that knockdown. That was crazy.
You always on the opposite side of these damn conversations, bro. If you don't,
hold on, no, man. I'm on the side of right, man.
You're on the side of right.
Hey, what's it?
They're gonna remember all this capping you doing, Clay.
BVO, was it a knee? Was it a knee, BVO? Was it a knee?
I don't know, man. All I seen was tacos all over the ring, man. That's how you feel.
Like that. Yo, let Band Up finish that little build he's about to go on right quick. Go ahead, Band Up. You was about to say something before.
You already, man. I cannot wait for this, bro. Oh my god, man. And then people got the nerve to ask me, to try to do something on Saturday. Man, I've been waiting a whole year and some change for this fight. I ain't doing nothing. I don't care about nothing. I don't even want my phone to be on.
Get it, right? We almost ain't get it.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? All these platforms and all this stuff I've been hearing, man. Oh, Crawford's gonna take control, man. You already know how it's gonna go, man. He's gonna put my. I don't know if he's gonna put him down.
The fight.
I don't know if he's gonna put him down, but he's definitely about to put on the class with them two fists. I tell you that. But I got a question for you, Clay. That I don't think nobody's really asked. It's a good question, man. It's a two-way question. Do knockdowns matter in a fight?
Yeah.
You talking about a boxing match or an MMA fight? What are you talking about?
No, in a boxing match. You're talking about boxing, just boxing right now.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Right? Yeah, because that's part of the rules.
Yes. Okay. So a knockdown matters. We all on the same page. So if Canelo knocks Bud down, can you see Bud coming back and winning and vice versa?
Absolutely.
We're talking about stop. We're talking about stopping.
Yeah, in the first hour, I did an entire thing where I explained exactly how Crawford's gonna back him up, knock him down.
I know.
When has he ever been knocked down, though?
Look, listen. What I'm getting at is, okay, we got an idea how the fight might play out, whatever the case may be, right? But in the midst of that fight, if one of these guys get knocked down, say like in the third, do you see them being able to get back up? And that same fighter that got knocked down, do you see him having a chance to win the fight on both ends of the spectrum?
Yes.
Yeah, of course. These are great.
These are fights that will not be over until it's over.
Yes.
So what we're saying now is that Bud Crawford got still. Is he Luke Cage now? He's gonna knock a dude down with an iron chin who never even seen wobble.
Nah, Bud's up at 168 on that snack. He's gonna catch him clean. I'm trying to tell you, y'all don't think he gonna see. That's the thing. They don't think Bud's gonna be able to hurt him. I think Bud's gonna be able to. We on Saturday.
I mean,
So is he getting the same shots in the ass
done,
that your boy Sugar Shane Mosley got?
Hey, look, bro, you can't use that really analogy because he's done things that people ain't seen before. I promise you. If you, I'm pretty sure you was on these platforms, bro. If anybody had talked to you the day before that Spence fight, you would have not told me the winner went. You would have not had the same outcome of how that fight went. So anything can happen, bro. We never seen a person get dismantled like he just did, bro.
Also, we never seen Errol Spence fight a lefty ever.
Hold on a second. We got 65 people in the building. Salute to everybody who is in here, man. I appreciate you being here. Please hit that like button, support the channel, support the algorithm. For sure, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, you should do that as well. And, go ahead and hit your notifications as well so you get notifications when we drop content like this. My bad, whoever I cut off, feel free to continue.
I'm just wondering, so you think Bud can bring them gloves he used versus David Avocado? That's going to bust on Canelo's head? Is that what?
Hey, hold on. What's my? Hey, I got to. I love when people bring that up. Yo. So if the ref looked at the gloves and said it's good, why do you have a problem with it?
I'm using the popcorn bags. You said why I have a problem with it?
No, if the ref looked at the gloves in the fight and before the fight, and they said it's good, why do you have a problem with it?
I think the ref looked at the gloves versus Deontay Wilder and said it was good versus Tyson Fury. They was flopping all over the place. That don't mean nothing.
Yeah, I mean that does mean good. It means those gloves was good.
My God.
Hold on a second. Hey, bro, I don't make the rules, bro. I just follow the rules. Like you said, I'm on the side of right. Shout out to Too Rich. I respect the belts in the building. I have not heard from my boy in a minute. Too Rich.
Yeah, what's going on, Clay? What's going on, panel?
Rich, what's up?
You 7 minutes late, Too Rich.
I know, right? I was listening to y'all cook, man. I was listening.
Hey, thank you, by the way, Too Rich, for listening to the whole thing. You heard where we were coming from, right?
No doubt about it. Yeah, man. Hey, man. Yeah, we got a big fight on our hand, man. This big time boxing is back, man. I like to salute Canelo, salute Crawford for giving us this fight, man. It's a fight of undisputeds, man. You know, the best Mexican versus the best American, man. This is a great fight. They putting on for boxing. Netflix putting on. This is gonna be a great event, man. As far as the fight, man, I'm rocking with Crawford. 10 toes down, man. I don't see how Canelo can win the fight. I get it, he heavier and all that. For the people who say the Madrimov fight, I just remind you, ask yourself, why was the Sean Porter fight harder for Terrence Crawford than the Errol Spence fight? Because Sean Porter was bouncing back and forth. He needed a minute to get the timing down. But Errol Spence was coming straight forward. That means Terrence Crawford power jab is heavy in play. Madrimov jumping around, couldn't quite get the timing down. Canelo is coming forward. You see what I mean? So if Terrence Crawford get that jab to work in, the fight is over with. And I think the most important person in that ring would not be Terrence Crawford. It would not be Canelo Alvarez. It would be Eddie Reynoso, because he would be holding the towel and he would have to make the decision whether to throw that towel in between rounds 6 and 8.
Never seen this.
That's what I told earlier, man.
Where you been?
Too Rich, you heard me. This is what I was saying. The only difference between your take and my take, Too Rich, is I thought he'd be earlier than the 6th round. But hey, man,
Too Rich must be on that hen dog, man. Must have some that ENJ for you hopped up here, dog.
I knew. Listen, I was waiting on Too Rich, and it was well worth it, bro. He came 7 minutes late, dog. Got nervous, but boy, listen, man. When he dropped that
y'all
mic,
be trying when Canelo smashed this dude. Oh my God!
Listen, so I just told you generally who I thought was going to win, but just real quick, I think my analysis is like this: with the reach advantage, particularly, right? I really believe in the first round, they're gonna try each other. I think they're gonna both come hot, kind of like with Bud and Spence. And I believe Bud's gonna try to probe and push the issue, and be defensively cautious. But I think they're gonna push the issue. And I just think that, for Bud to really dominate how I think he's gonna dominate, he's gonna catch him early. And he's gonna be able to use his footwork and use his countering ability and have some power at 168 to make Canelo think about moving forward. And I think that's
Yeah, God took him out.
You would.
Whereas with Bud has to fight is with Postal when he fought off the back foot like that. He's gonna really have to pick his spots. He's gonna really have to stay defensively sound, and he's gonna really just have to stay disciplined so that he doesn't them on into those later rounds. Then I believe he'll pick them apart. And that's my analysis.
My analysis is, man, get you some white towels because blood's gonna be bleeding a lot, man. And y'all gonna have to pick him up like Ricky.
Sure, you are here Sunday morning,
bro. Don't let the baby see him. Don't let the baby see him, man. Please don't let the baby see him.
Sunday BVO, I'm looking at you weird on Monday. You heard? I'm like, oh, that's not who I thought he was.
I'm just saying. So y'all never seen. Let me just say this. I'm gonna take the jokes out for a second. We never seen Canelo really hurt, and let alone hurt. We never even really seen him knocked down, except for Jose Cotto. So magically, a dude from 135 pounds who went life and death with Madrimov, who Virgil Ortiz laced like a pair of gachos.
Oh my God!
Is somehow going to beat the reigning, defending super middleweight champion.
I know it's great.
Some call him the Mexican James Toney. Stop it!
Ain't that amazing? Hold on, let me throw some holes at this Madrimov thing, right? And people could say whatever they want to say, bro. Forget the excuses, but let's keep it real on the reasons, bro. Madrimov, when he boxed Virgil Ortiz for those first 4 rounds, he ran circles around him. He did him dirty the same way he was giving Terrence Crawford issues. He gave Virgil Ortiz even more issues. We ain't going to act like that man was not dealing with pneumonia, with an upper respiratory infection, and like his conditioning wasn't in question against Virgil Ortiz, which, by the way, he still wasn't able to stop Madrimov with that upper respiratory infection. So I don't want to hear nothing about Madrimov and Virgil Ortiz and what he was able to do in that fight. And Madrimov, I still believe, is one of the top 154-pound fighters in the division. You guys just happen to catch him on the back end of a Terrence Crawford fight, which is probably one of the most competitive fights, like you said, Terrence Crawford's been in. And then he had to fall back out of a Bohachuk fight because he caught that upper respiratory infection. And then he fought Virgil Ortiz against his own doctor's advice, and he couldn't keep up with the conditioning to move around, so he ended up having to fight flat-footed in a close-range, mid-range fight with the Virgil Ortiz, who was banging him with body shots, right? Double compounding on the issues he had. Shout out to Virgil Ortiz. I take nothing away from him and his victory, but if you're using that Madrimov fight as some sort of barometer to gauge who Terrence Crawford is, bro, this is going to be a bittersweet ending for you with Canelo Alvarez, bro, because Canelo Alvarez is not going to fight Terrence Crawford like Madrimov fought Terrence Crawford. That's not what he's going to do. Styles make fights.
Y'all act like Canelo some dude waiting at Home Depot to get a job. This dude stomped the crap out of Crawford, man. Y'all, when he wiped his work boots on, that's all I want to see Sunday morning.
You be here Sunday morning. You dirty. You be here.
BBO, win, lose, or draw, bro. We'll be here. Win, lose, or draw, we'll be here. But check this out,
4K,
right?
BBO, with the 4K. Don't forget the 4K.
Yeah. BBO, for every single argument you make where you sit there and you say, and I agree with my brother Warrior Class, thank you for the super chat, $5. Man, Clay, you getting a good amount today. What if Bud whoops Canelo worse than he whoops Spence, which is what I'm saying.
That's
what if Bud whoops Canelo worse than he whoops Spence? So let me throw some of your questions that you keep talking about. Oh, well, blah, blah, this, and Canelo ain't ever done this. I've never seen Crawford get dropped or even losing a fight in a
You never seen him get dropped? You didn't see him versus an E machine?
Oh, come on. Stop it. That was a slip.
He was on a knee like Kaepernick.
All right. So anyway, first of all, secondly, last time I checked, man, I think there's no blueprint to beat Crawford because he's got no defeats. So I don't know how a man who lost twice is going to somehow figure out the formula to beat Bud Crawford, because being big won't be big enough to beat Bud Crawford. And the last thing I will say to you, BVO, because you keep throwing shade at how our guy's going to get destroyed, I did see Canelo have trouble with a lefty. I have seen Canelo get pushed back by Golovkin. Well, Crawford's the best switch hitter in the game, and that's why I'm saying he don't need the box back. He don't need to be scared.
Didn't Muhammad Ali lose to a dude with 8 fights?
Oh my gosh! You keep moving the goalpost.
I'm asking a question.
I'm gonna start calling BVO Lex Luthor.
You can't do that because you know I know the history. Ali lost 5 fights. You forgot about that?
Oh my God!
We're not going to get into that.
Warrior Class. Hold on. Warrior Class 3 in the building, man, with the $5, man. Man, one of the best supporters of this channel, man. I salute to that guy, man. Keeps us running, keeps the boiler going, bro. Keeps the lights on in the building. What if Bud whoops Canelo worse than he whoops Spence? And I like this question, right? And I want this one because this definitely got to be directed to BVO. So after saying all that, because what I love about what you're doing, BVO, is you're just compounding and you're adding to how great and how impressive and how amazing it's going to be if Terrence Crawford's able to do that.
So right.
This question's right back at you, right? For as amazing as Canelo Alvarez is, and you're such a smart dude that you might be playing this game, right? He might legitimately be juicing this up to make that victory even crazy. He might really be a Bud fan, and he might be playing the opposite side. BVO's like that.
Right? I'm a boxing fan, Clay. I don't got to fight.
Okay, so World Class 3 says, what if Bud whoops Canelo worse than he whoops Spence? What say you, BVO, in some fantasy world? Because we all know that this can't happen. But if it does happen, for whatever reason, if that ends up being the end case scenario, what now?
This reminds me when I used to go over my Aunt Virginia's house and she have her cigarettes out. She would always have a fifth of liquor with her. So I always thought about it. If was a fifth, we all be drunk.
So you're not going to answer the question.
I'm answering the question. If he does, well, what if I go to the moon and come back?
What if Bud whoops Canelo though? We'll talk about you going to the moon after you answer that question. What if he does? I'll put like this: if he and this is all jokes, if he does that, that would be amazing. I just have never seen it in all the years I've been watching boxing. Every time the smaller man went up, whether it was Henry Armstrong when he fought Sugar Ray Robinson beat the dog shit out of him. Whenever a good little guy goes up, he gets his ass whooped every time.
Except for one of the greatest of all time, the little guy went all the way up at 37 years old by the name of Roberto Duran. And I seem to remember he beat Iran Barkley and Barkley was 28. I'm just saying that's historical too.
Well, the only reason you can say that is because Iran Barkley fought his fight. You don't know what's going to happen till they fight, but I highly doubt that Canelo will fight Bud's fight. But I know that Bud, I put like this. I know that Bud likes to get mad. He's a dog. And what do you do with dogs? You get them mad, you hit them, beat them, and you know he got to take some of them punches back. It's some heat coming back. Your same guy got talking about Bivol. Bivol said that Canelo hits harder than Paterbi have. That's what Bivol said. So unless Bivol's lying, I don't know. So you think that Bud, who's a little bitty guy, gonna be able to take all them car crash hits from a guy who's big as hell, who's been dropping dudes that's 6'1", 200 pounds?
He won't need to, brother, because timing beats power. Timing beats power, and he's going to knock him down.
Exactly.
I tell you what, man, whatever y'all smoking, man, I need some, man. But salute to my man Clay, man. I'm gonna go to bed, man. Salute y'all, brothers.
Show up Sunday morning. We're gonna have a whole.
Hey, don't leave YouTube, Clay. Don't leave YouTube when your guy go to bed. Please don't.
Nah, bro. We'll be.
I love
Sunday
you, man.
Morning. I gotta cover the Inoue fight, no matter what. Boxing continues, bro.
BVO, make sure you bring that sombrero, brother. Bring the sombrero.
I'm gonna bring it, man. Hey, and don't disappear, bro.
We'll bring the piff, bro. We'll bring you some of that gas and get you on. You be over here getting high with us, bro, for the first time. You hit this right here, BVO. Remember 4K, by the way. 4K.
I'm gonna be in the house. Peace.
Yo.
Hey, let me say this, man. A lot of people talk about the Virgil Ortiz like he just washed Madrimov. I think if you looked at that fight good, Hell, I thought Madrimov was winning the fight. I was really looking for him to knock Vergil Ortiz out. Now, Vergil Ortiz was applying pressure, no doubt about it. And that was the difference, was the pressure that he was applying.
And Madrimov had the upper respiratory infection.
He had an issue. But look, when you look at the scores for Crawford was 116 to 112 on one card, and the other two cards were 115, 113. For Vergil Ortiz, it was 117 to 111 on one card, and the other two cards were 115 to 113. I felt like that's exactly what I saw. Just a little bit better, maybe, than Crawford. That's all it was.
No doubt.
Hey, I got a question. I need some help. I need Clay's help. Maybe anybody else in the panel will help. So, and this has to do with the Madrimov with Bud. So, if I wasn't mistaken, Bud destroyed Spence. Was it June 2023? It was June, right? June 2023.
Yeah, June.
And then he was caught up in the rematch
July
with Spence.
No, yeah, it was July.
Okay,
it was like July 19th or something,
July
right?
2023. Thank you. We want to keep it accurate.
Yeah,
So
it was July
2023.
Or something like
July 29th, 2023. That's when Bud defeated Spence. And then Bud was caught up in that rematch. Now, do y'all remember what month it was when we finally discovered that Spence wasn't going to do the rematch, and then he had to do the eye surgery, and then ultimately
it was like December. It was like December, January time.
So it's December, January time, exactly. So this is December, January, right? So boom, he had so he moved from 147 to 154 during that time when he was thinking that he was going to be at 147. For a rematch, right? So if we say January, that's what, 6 months, 7 months that it took for him to prepare to go on to 154 to fight Madrimov, right? But then also let's keep in mind that when he was talking about fighting Madrimov, he had already wanted to fight Canelo. He was already having those discussions before he fought Madrimov, going into 154. But the point I'm trying to make is this: it was a different type of conditioning and planning and preparation that he was going for 154 for Madrimov, to fight Madrimov. And then not only that, the style that Madrimov presented, he presented a style that he didn't really show on tape in those 10 professional fights, because he didn't fight like that in his previous fights before, right? And ultimately, Bud made the adjustments. Bud boxed him to a unanimous decision. And I would like to add just the Porter fight. I think that demonstrates the level of control and discipline that Bud has in a fight, because Bud was fighting his fight. Bud thought he was winning. Somebody told him he was down, and then he turned up and got him out of there, right? I don't think he turned up in the Madrimov fight to an extent of having to press the hardest. He was handling his business, and he got the job done. And he got it out of here. Now, fast forward, I bring that all to say is that he's had a whole year to put on 168 pounds. And if these videos and pictures is true of what he's posted of himself, if he comes in near 166 and a half, 167, and he rehydrates close to 180, man, listen, man, this might be a slaughter, because he might be packing some type of power, which people say all the time, with his timing that he has, he doesn't necessarily have to have power, because it's the punches that you don't see coming. So that's what the question mark is going into this fight. He's coming in a superbly tip-top shape, 168, rehydrating, and we've never seen him fight like this. That's why it's kind of hard as a Bud fan. I can't argue all I want, but none of us never seen Bud fight at 168 at tip-top shape. And that's what we about to see on Saturday, and that's what people going to be in for a root awakening. So if he beats Canelo, if he beats the shit out of Canelo, I'm not going to be surprised, because I suspected that he put on his weight, he became bigger, he was still faster, at least faster than Canelo, with foot speed and leg speed, and picked him apart, because that's what I'm seeing. And the odds is tightening up, and I think people are seeing and saying, hey, Bud might not be this little guy that y'all keep claiming and keep talking about at 135 that was by Gamboa, or that by Kavaliauskas at 147, or this. This is a whole different beast. And that's what makes this fight so fascinating, because we don't know what type of version of Bud is going to show up, because all we have as a reference point is Charlo moving from 154, 168. And bro, it seemed like he was pillow fisted, because in the first early rounds, he did his thing and he hit Canelo, and Canelo just shook that shit off. And then he got on his bike. So that's going to be the question. Will Bud have more power than Charlo? Will Bud have enough power to hurt Canelo and make him back up? I suspect he is. And if he does, y'all going to blame it on Snap.
He gonna
I'll let
promote
my
snack.
play right there.
I gotta get me a snack shirt and start rocking these snack shirts. So the freaking flyer was good, Ak.
Salute. What's going on, y'all? Salute to the panel.
What's going on?
Hey man, I keep hearing people talk about the power and all of that. I don't think it's really about the power with Bud, man. I think he got great punch placement. And I think that's what's gonna hurt. I'm still doubling down on it, Clay. I think Bud is gonna hurt Canelo. He gonna shock the world because everybody thinking that, it gotta be power. I think the punch placement is it. Like when we saw when he was fighting Errol and Errol Spence. Remember when Bud was leaning against the ropes and Earl came in with that wild hook or whatever, and Bud caught him with that little short uppercut and put him down? Mm-hmm. He ain't see it coming. It was a perfectly placed punch. And a lot of times that's what we see with Bud when he hurting people. He don't just knock people flat out. He knocked out David Avenesian, I believe. But other than that, we usually just see him stun people. And I think it's because of the punch placement. He catch people with shots when they're throwing the shot in the middle of them throwing a shot, or before they can get a chance to get their arm back and cover up or whatnot. Like the first knockdown when he knocked Spence down. He caught Spence reaching out, caught him with that little. I think he hit him like on the side of the neck or whatever, close to the neck. It looked like it was the neck, but it was a perfectly placed punch that stunned him, put him down. I think that's what hurt people the most, the punches that they don't see. That's placed in a good, at a good time, the perfect time. And so I think that's what's going to happen with Canelo. I think Canelo probably, he going to sleep on Bud being able to hurt him, I think. I think he's going to get caught throwing one of those hooks or whatever that he like to throw, and Bud just going to time a nice, good power shot, and I think that's going to hurt him. And I don't think it's about the power, man.
I agree with you. I think what people are sleeping on is his timing, which looks like speed, and I also think that people are understating how that timing also looks like power. And he translates that very well with his shots placement. He knows how to time those shots out very well. Hey, yo, band up. I got somebody I want to bring up right quick. You want to say something? I was going to pull you down right quick.
Go ahead, Clay. I'll be in the back. I'm still with you.
All right, no doubt. Coach Eddie, what's good, family?
Hey, brother, what's good, man?
Doing good, man. Just had to get you up here. I saw you in the back. I'm like, damn, I don't want to put more than 6 people over here because then it looks crazy.
Oh yeah, I got you. Yeah, like I say, so somebody else want to get up, I'll fall back because I was the last one to come up. I just want to say a few things real quick. I know a lot of people made a big deal about the photo, Terence Crawford physique and everything, and I didn't really jump out the window when I seen that because Caleb Plant looked tremendous at the weigh-in. That's the best. I mean, he looked great. So to me, it's gonna boil down to the old adage: hit and don't get hit. And that's what boxing is all about. If Bud can keep it that simple, hit and don't be hit, he'll be victorious in this fight. Because that's what boxing is. Hit and don't get hit. I mean, at the end of the day, we can say a lot of things, we can speculate a lot of things, what the game plan is gonna be, how he should approach the fight, and all those things are true. But at the end of the day, it's hit and don't be hit. If he can land his shots and don't let Crawford, don't stick around and wait on no receipt. That's the name of the game, man. And if you get a chance to get him out of there, of course, step on the gas. But gonna boil down, I think, what Bud has in between his 2 ears more than what he looks like on the scale.
Yeah, that's what Bomac said. They said, "What's the difference going to be?" He said, "Ring IQ." That's what he said out loud on that stage tonight. He said, "Ring IQ." So I'm looking forward to see something real cerebral, man. Look, guys, we're going on that 3-hour mark. You know what I mean? It's about that time for me. It's about 11:30. I got things to do in the morning. I got to move around. We'll be back up live tomorrow for sure. We got some fights popping off, from my understanding, before these media workouts jump off. So
2 p.m. Yeah, 2 p.m. is the start time. It should be
fights?
on Ring Magazine's YouTube or UFC's YouTube. If you're here in Vegas already, I know Blaze, you won't be here till Thursday, but for the people who are here in Vegas right now, what's cool about it, again, we talked about it in the beginning of the show. They're opening up the Blueville Theater, which is inside the Fontainebleau, because I think it's named after Harry Fontaine, the Fontainebleau, and it's completely free for anyone who's here in Vegas to go watch the event. Now, the next night when you get here, Blaze, for Thursday, those tickets are $75. That's for the Alasquaga fight, Jaleel Hackett. There's a 6-fight card for that. So there's a 5-fight card for free, open to the public tomorrow, 2 p.m. Here in Las Vegas. And then there's the nighttime fight that's happening in the same theater. That's Alasquaga is the main event. Jaleel Hackett's fighting. There's a couple other people. I'm sorry, I'm not mentioning them. Friday, 6 p.m. is T-Mobile. They're going to open it up to the public so everyone could come and watch the weigh-in show, which is going to be outstanding.
Hey, the weigh-in's free?
And that's free. So there's when you get here, I'm going to turn you up to all the free stuff. There's a ton of free events happening right now, man. That's why the Grand Arrival looks so crazy. Is they have like statues there, like they're really like we were talking about in the first hour of the show. This is the grand opening to boxing for free to everyone in the United States, and it's really like it's very welcoming. Tons of people here already having a great time. And then Saturday, when Clay does his show, you guys got to remember the fights start at 2:30 p.m. Saturday afternoon on YouTube. And if you want to watch it alongside with Clay, you got to also have another TV while you're listening to Clay and watch either on the UFC or the Netflix YouTube, or it's going to be on the WWE, the Netflix YouTube, it's going to be everywhere, all for free. The first 6 fights, which we didn't even get to, Clay. Maybe we'll get to it tomorrow.
I know we can't never get to it. No, we got to get to it. And hopefully tomorrow we're going to talk about the undercard, but at some point we got to talk about this monster anyway.
Of course. And we will, man. There's time. That's a close fight, by the way. That's a close fight. But again, shout out to Turkey for. I agree. I like the schedule ahead of time. And you and I kind of disagree on that, Clay. But I like it because if you're a fighter and you
all the way, but I do think it. I don't disagree with it in real time.
It can mess with you in one respect.
Yes,
right. It can mess with you in one respect.
It
but
gets
on another respect,
and then broken sometimes.
Right.
Yeah.
But on another respect, and you can relate to this, Blaze. On another respect, though, kind of like in every other sport that we see,
right?
It's not like LeBron doesn't know his next big game. It's not like in the NFL that you don't know week to week who you're going to match up against again, right? At least in boxing, you got time. Inoue knows he's fighting in September, then he's fighting again in December.
Right.
That's better than look what happened to Lamont Roach. All 100%. That training since March, and then he still got nothing, right? Look what happened to Joseph Parker. Knocks out Bacola in February, and now he's finally getting a fight in October. That type of schedule sucks, man. It's better to have the Bam Rodriguez schedule. It's better to have these type of schedules. So, anyways, we'll talk about the Inoue fight. That will be amazing. And like I said, everyone, man, this is the greatest time to be a boxing fan again. All you youngsters that are under 19 years old, you guys are living in a great time. A time that I can remember in the 80s when boxing was free on ABC, and it was bigger than football, bigger than the NFL. Boxing was bigger than the NFL in the 80s. So yeah, amazing stuff. And Clay, I know it's super late for you, so thank you so much for staying. My man Clay normally never stays this late. Actually, this is super late for him.
I'm trying to be here for the community. You know what I'm saying? And I love when I call you guys the usual suspects. You know what I'm saying? These are my usual suspects: Two Ridge, Coach Eddie, Blaze, frequent flyer, Echo, who I haven't seen up here in a long time. Boxing Hackers out there doing the work out there in the community. He's out there pushing the truth out there, even though he's up in there boxing 6-7 people at the same time on a panel. You know what I'm saying? I always like to hear you guys build on this sport, man. So yeah, man, we'll be up here tomorrow doing the same damn thing again, hopefully covering some of these fights, probably covering these fights. That's something I love to do, by the way, also, is commentate and cover these fights. You haven't seen me go crazy on that yet, Reyes. But that's
no.
I want to. Can I leave you with a thought real quick? I want you to. Maybe I'm looking too far into it. Maybe you can elaborate on this tomorrow. But did you notice that Canelo showed up in all white and Blood showed up in all black?
Yeah.
Yep. They embracing their roles.
We talked about that. Yeah.
He rolling villain.
That's Turkey. That's Nick Khan. That's Dana White. That's production. That's something.
Yeah.
That's another era that's being ushered into boxing right now. Is the level of production that I'm anticipating to see going into each one of those events, all the way until we go into the live fight Saturday night. I'm looking to see era-defining moments all the way through this whole entire process, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not going to lie to you.
Hey, Clay, so I know you don't go out this late, but I told you I got my buddy who I'm going to do the show with. It's tomorrow night. It starts at this time. So, and I know you'll already be asleep. I've tried to invite you to these shows before. But I put it on the chat for everyone. If you guys want to continue to talk on West Coast time from like 8 o'clock all the way to midnight, then please come join us tomorrow. We'll be talking all about how Crawford's going to knock out Canelo.
No doubt. Salute to everybody, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Until tomorrow, man. Until the next one. It's at ATP Combat Media
All right,
Show.
Peace, y'all. Peace, everybody.
All right, peace.
We out.
I would make it this far, they hated, they never believe me. Yeah, I would never drop the ball, I know I make it look easy. Yeah, Mayweather with the defense. I don't care what a critic gotta say, I got them picking up the pieces. That to me, you really playing with your life, I'm about to come and run it all back. I'm the new era, about to snap back. You ain't fitting for it, cause you all cap like. Hold up, I shoot my shot, wait, hold up. I'm really about to run this go up. You know it's all net when it go up.
Ain't got no other plans, you don't need to understand, ayy. We on overtime, you don't need to understand, ayy. You just show them how to do it when you don't know what to say. Tell me how you plan to win if you plan to play it safe.
Moving fast, already gone, yeah, but you bringing me back. Try to double cross me, dog, just let me relax.